that hurt.
Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill.
Ooh, great
The secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the tip.
I didn't understand it, but
Patrick Agyemang to Bambi or a newborn giraffe or what?
Welcome back to the Straight Red Card, and just a relief for me to have Brett back. You know, Brett, doing a show by yourself sucks.
Dude, I had quite the show lined up for Thursday. I was like, oh God, I got all this shit lined up. I'm gonna go back, and I get a text message from the wife saying, "I think I need to go to the hospital."
Yeah, that's
I go,
tough.
like, you think you need to go to the hospital? Like, you're gonna wait till I get home to take you to the hospital, or is your mom gonna take you to the hospital? Because her mom's in town. Has been in town since we've been at Breadstock.
Right.
She's like, nope, I'm just gonna wait for you to get home. So I took her there. Yeah, she having her issues with being celiacs and an extended weekend of drinking,
of partying.
Really kind of fucked with it all. Yeah, lesson learned.
You guys are too old to be doing a fucking
whoa.
a week of partying.
You're never too old for a week of partying.
No, I think at some point
you just gotta be good at it.
You gotta take a break. It's somewhere in the party of the week. You gotta be like, okay, today.
Hey, I'll drink a glass of water from time to time.
Well, yeah, it doesn't sound like everybody did that.
Plus we were floating around in a lake. I figured, absorb some of the water through my skin like a frog would. That's not how it works out. Osmosis. It's osmosis, right?
Maybe through your anus, but not your skin.
There
all right. And that's only
is that the equivalent of the tampon and the vodka, and then whoop that?
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
Anyhow, while you were gone, the world went insane. Did you notice that?
I did notice it. I watched.
It's like I
watched from afar.
I feel like even with our friends, I'm trying to be like the purveyor of common sense.
When did my handle, the handle that I run on Twitter, when did that become the beacon of common sense?
I don't know.
Listener was like, guys, he's clearly saying that this is the last window of testing a couple guys out. Then he's going to start. Let's wait till October, guys.
Yeah, there's no need to freak out quite yet and say there's all these weird things going on, and that anybody believes that Poch thinks that Brian White's a better player than Balogun just to this minute just stuns me. That's not what happened at all. Then we'll get into that.
It was funny watching you go solo and talking, as you do. You were talking about Sargent. You're like, I was surprised that Sargent got a call. I'm like, that's right.
Yeah.
Derek went on a tyrant for like many a show saying, Sargent studies toast. He's not getting called back in.
I know. I thought it was over, but I was wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong.
Get right back in there.
I'm glad he's back. I mean, I'm glad he's going to get another shot. But now with Balogun there, which I know that Balogun is going to have a minutes restriction. We all know that. So, White is better. All right, racist.
Greg Berhalter. We had a Pochettino. I mean, we have all the people watching our shows. I love you all.
Yeah. By the way, Fumar, I know you weren't saying anything personally, dude. I didn't take it personal, so don't even worry about it. Like, I love you, man, and I love all you guys that come to the show on a regular basis. So,
Fumar, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get Derek on the fuck you, motherfucker type of train.
Yeah. I don't get there very quickly and not on a personal scale.
Usually it's reverse. Usually the person's telling Derek, well, fuck you, motherfucker.
That usually happens first, yes. And even, I get more wound up by bad soccer coverage than I do like a person. You'll notice that me on Twitter, I don't have any real, nasty confrontations. It just hasn't been happening.
Some people do point out the fact that you point out you do a lot of memes with erections and stuff like that, though.
I do.
He did it his way.
In fact, with Ten Hag today, when he was let go by Bayer Leverkusen, I said premature ejaculation because he was ejected from the team very quickly. Like that was fast. Like they must not like something else about him. It couldn't have been the beginning of the season alone. You could have given a guy a little more time than that. But yeah, Derek Ray,
matches,
my brother from another mother, said quite remarkable that Eric Ten Hag lasted only 3 competitive games as coach for Leverkusen. The fit was wrong and he's out.
He must have fucked one of the board's members' wives or something, man.
I heard he's not a very likable person. That's what I heard. So that he coached Leverkusen
less time than Bradley coached Swansea.
I know.
Whoa. We thought that was bad. 3 months, guys. Come on, give him a break. 3 games.
And that was just because they thought things were headed the wrong direction. But Bradley certainly didn't rub any of the executives the wrong way. This, at least if you read the German press, he was irritating to work with. Yes. The Deutsche Press.
Well, Derek, there's rumors, not verified rumors, but there are rumors that Malik Tillman might be coached by this cat right here.
You think, huh? I know already who it is. I can see the top of his head. And I already know who that is.
It's in the title.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Has appointed Eden Terzic. Yeah. Not shocking.
So I click on this and it takes me to a 404 error. Basically the page doesn't exist. And if you go through the chat, they're like, "Oh man, you almost got me there." So I don't know if there's any truth behind this, but
I don't either.
I initially quote tweeted this saying, "Man, Terzic's found its way back into our lives." Shit.
Maybe
then I read the comments. It's like, "Oh wait, never mind. Delete."
Yeah. Well, I mean, hard to say. I mean, their expectations, because of who they had coaching there, probably pretty high at this point. And so we'll see what happens. But I would caution them to, be careful who they pick here. And you're not going to find another Xabi Alonso. It's just that's so, you stumbled upon that guy who was ready to sparkle. Not everybody, and then you got rid of like half your team. So,
I mean, I guess my whole issue with Terzic, frankly, is that one, he changed the style of Dortmund as a whole.
Yes,
he completely changed that, and it fucked over Gio. And some of that may be on Gio. You don't know all the ins and outs and what have yous, but he has a decent track record as far as wins and losses. But I mean, it's Dortmund, and then who else is he coach for?
I don't know, but I can say he played Gio more than his follow-up manager did.
There's truth to that. But then you played him after he recovered from his injury. He did. He played him as a super sub. The guy scored like 7 goals in half a season as a super sub. Yeah. And then the next season, you don't play him like, I don't respect his defensive ability. What the fuck happened there?
Yeah, hard to say.
Bro.
Speaking of egregious things, did you see the Polish executive who?
I knew you were going to pull that up next. Look at that.
I sent the video too.
So for those who don't know what happened,
well, I sent you the video.
I don't have the video pulled up. Oh yeah.
I did. He stole the ball.
Not the ball. The hat. Stole the hat
from a little kid. And he finally did apologize today, by the way.
Let's Coldplay this guy.
Only after doubling down, right?
Well, I read somewhere though that apology that we're going to see here in a second was actually fake. So let's see here. So this is a Polish CEO, multi-millionaire dude. This is a poor kid that just wants to get the hat.
I don't know if he's poor, but
well, he has that tennis match, so he probably isn't poor.
No, he's not poor, but
poor isn't like, oh, poor you, buddy.
Oh yeah. Well, in that sense,
so this Polish tennis player was like signing for all the Polish fans in the audience, and hey, kid, here's my hat.
Yeah.
Maybe become a famous tennis player like me someday.
Right. And then douchebag Central
Yoink.
grabs it.
And he shoves it into a bag like, oh,
I
you
know.
saw nothing here.
And his wife didn't have the sense to say, no, honey, that's not right.
No,
You
she
can't
wasn't
do
even
that."
paying attention. Come
She
on.
probably wasn't, but
I
still.
was like, now she's watching the video. She goes, dude, why were you such a dick?
Oh, I'm filing for divorce. I'm taking half of his shit.
For finding that poor kid. Because this kid, watch the kid, though. He's like, hey, where's my hat? Give me my hat back.
Hey, that was
That was
mine.
going to me. That was going to me.
Hey,
Give me.
douchebag.
He gave me. He's like, hey, here's your Sharpie.
pen back.
Here's your
Yeah.
Sharpie. Take the Sharpie.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep. This all happened at the U.S. Open. For those of you who don't know, that is going on right now. It is one of the 4 majors in tennis. But Piotr Srezek, he's a millionaire CEO of a paving company in Poland. He said, the recent incident at the tennis match has caused a disproportionate uproar. It's all about the famous hat, of course. Yes, I took it. Yes, I did it quickly. But
Give me a
as
British
I
accent now.
I know. But as I've always said, life is first to come, first serve. I understand some people might not like that I'm a douche, but please, let's not make a global scandal out of the hat. It's just a hat, and I'm a douche. No biggie. If you were faster, you would have it, as my wife always says in bed. Regarding online hate, I'd remind you.
No, she doesn't say that. I wish you weren't faster, Peter. Peter, slow down, Peter.
You mean finishing. All right. I was just talking about stroking. All right. Regarding online hate, I remind you that insulting a public figure, even as douchey as me, is subject to legal liability. All offensive comments, slander, and insinuations will be analyzed for the possibility of taking the matter to court. In the end, chin up, hats off, less venom, more sportsmanship, more accepting of douchiness. Thank you.
I love the fact he says more sportsmanship, meaning that, hey, I stole this hat from a kid, a little kid that was just enjoying the game.
Not a sportsman.
And I'm coming out here saying, hey, if you talk shit about me, I might take you to court. Because that's the fucking big thing about what's happening in Europe now. They're passing all these fucking laws. You say mean things online, all of a sudden you're going to court.
Yeah. Hey, Piotr. Take us to court, bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck
I'm
you.
not going to Poland anytime soon. So
no,
okay.
Me neither. I mean, what an idiot. I mean, just okay. I'm not going to get into a grand thing about how a lot of CEOs are like this because they just are. I have known a lot of these sickos in my life. I've worked for many of them, and they are sickos. They are me. All right.
Alex Gibbs says, Europeans, if it's not screwed down, we steal it.
I mean, not all of the CEOs I work for were like that. Okay.
But
Polish
some of them
were.
English really quickly there, Derek.
Yeah, well, because his response was so snobby, I had to read it as a posh Englishman. Right.
Still German accent.
Every accent I do is German to you, Untouchables.
As Fumar says, and we always say this about all the stuff. Just throw allegedly in there. He's allegedly a douche.
No, he's pretty much a douche.
He's allegedly super douche.
I mean, he is a douche in every metaphoric way I can think of.
There's douchebaggery, and then there's super douche, and he's just allegedly a super douche.
I think I'm not even going to.
It's fucking hack. Give it to the fucking kid. What's the matter with you?
I know. What a sicko. Anyhow, we had to bring this up.
Douchebag.
And I understand that he's been smashed on social media, but if we can help in any way to continue the smashery, we're doing it here. And for the 212 of you already here, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with Grandma. We are glad to be back full force. All right.
It always takes me back to like you watch like the MLB, they hit home runs and stuff like that. People are always chasing for the ball, and they get the ball and like yeah. What do 90% of them do? They
hand the ball to the kid,
the closest kid, and they hand it to them.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, hey, you were going after two. Here you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Do it like, come on. It's great that you got the ball. It's great that you got the hat.
Yeah,
but don't be a dick.
But here's the thing, Brett. I experienced real douchebaggery this weekend. I went out and played golf with my mom, and in front of us was Bryson DeChambeau Jr., like he was all jacked up. Oh, I'm a big golf player. I'm a golf pro. Ooh. And his girlfriend was driving the cart for him. She wasn't playing. He was going solo. And behind him was a 54-year-old man and a 76-year-old woman. And my mom.
Walking the course.
Walking the course while he rode a cart. This guy would line up to the ball and stand over it and waggle for like
waggle it
minutes.
like he's got a tail and everything.
Oh my God, like he was going to really crush it. And then the ball would go 50, 25 yards every freaking time. The guy had the worst swing I've ever seen. And hey, if that was you at Fox Prairie this weekend, you douchebag, you're lucky you were so goddamn large of a human being. I didn't threaten to crush your ass into the ground.
Do you think the girlfriend was sitting there in the car?
Oh, she got sick of it.
Going, thank goodness you got a 10-inch cock. I'm just saying.
No, he's got a very small cock. I'm pretty sure of that.
Then he's fucking wealthy is what you're saying.
Probably. But he was he even walked like a douchebag. And at one point, at like hole number 4, he turned around and said, and this is after he'd already been looking for his ball in the woods for at least 10 minutes. Hey, did you find a yellow Callaway back there? We just looked at each other like, no. We both hit it in the fairway. Why? No. We did not find a yellow Callaway. So finally he threw down some balls and kept playing. Next hole, my mom finally loses. My mom's not going to do this usually. She loses her patience. He's hit another ball into the woods. He's looking in the woods. My mom yells, "Come on, just throw down the ball and play."
It's $1.25. Get over it.
I'm dying out here. I'm 76. Don't let me die on this course. And then this guy turns around and said, "Well, you guys started too early on your tee time. If you weren't," he's yelling back at my mom, "You started too early in your tee time. You should have waited 10 minutes."
Playing through.
And my mom's like, "We started 10 minutes behind you. We'd still be up your ass." I couldn't believe this is getting so bad. I'm like, Mom, stop.
He's gonna kick my ass, not your ass.
I was like, this guy's roided up possibly. We don't know what he could do. Finally, he turned around and played, and we just took a jolly good time playing that hole. And so we let him get off
the next beer cart and drank there instead.
We just played that hole really slow and just let him get a hole ahead so we'd have to deal with his douchebag self. But that guy's one of the worst golfers I've ever seen, and dressed like he was a professional. He's one of those guys that when he got on the green, he got down low to read his putt for like 2 minutes, right? He's like figuring out the putt.
He's in the PGA, guy.
Like he's a fucking pro.
Fucking nail this shit.
Where me and my mom, we walk up to the ball, we look at the hole, we putt it. You know, I don't understand it.
Two putt it, whatever's.
Anyhow, douchebags they do exist. I'm glad that this guy didn't beat me up, as I had to defend my mom, but it all worked out in the end. Yeah. But by the way,
just let him swing first, and at that point, anything's fair game.
I only shot 3 over. Okay, yeah. That's fucking amazing. That's the best I've ever played golf in my life. Throughout the douchebaggery, I was playing some of the best golf of my life.
Derek's mom would have kicked his roided, pimpled back ass.
Yeah, his shrunken dick and everything. All right. Anyhow, I didn't say a word to the guy, so I just stayed out of it. And I just told my mom, "Hey, this guy looks roided. He looks like he's been roiding it. He's got a small penis. His girlfriend hates him. He's already playing embarrassing golf in front of his girlfriend, who has to go shag all his balls for him because he hits it 25 yards into the woods every time." So anyhow, it was just one of those things that happened. All right. Yeah. So, yes, I do play golf. Somebody asking, yes, my mom loves golf. I play golf with my mom. Absolutely. She wants me to play golf. I'm playing golf with my mom.
DK says 3 over what? So I said +3.
Yeah.
Size of his dick.
3 meters. Yeah. All right. 3 feet. 3 over. If you don't know what good golf is, I'm not going to explain to you what that is. You've got par, and I was 3 over par total for the day. So Not
Untouchable
bad.
says I also suck at tracking my balls.
There's a lot of jokes there about balls, for sure. You never want to find your balls in the mud. That's for
Derek's
sure.
gonna be watching the Ryder Cup soon and be like, dude, there's the fucking roided out bitch.
I probably
Actually,
will
not that
be.
bad.
Probably will be watching some Ryder Cup, but I spent most of my weekend watching soccer, almost all of it. So there you go. Didn't have time for any golf. I don't really get to watch any golf because I'm either watching soccer or I'm watching Formula One or IndyCar, and that leaves very little time for any other sport.
I was pulled in all different directions this weekend. I got to watch one game, and I picked the Norwich game because I'm a Sergeant Stan. I'm a Sergeant Stan, and I picked a good game. I picked a good game.
You did. Yeah, I watched that one too.
Yeah, it was a good game. All right, well, now you were talking about douchebags. Now, I don't think these guys here are douchebags. I think they're just ginormous dumbasses. But, you're in an area where a flash flood is coming, and what do? You whip out your phone and you start recording, right? That's what you do, right? When a flash flood comes.
When you said whipped out, I was just wondering.
That's what I thought. Well, I think they were doing that too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Either way, here we go. Oh, look at this. Oh, shoosh. Well, I got to just record this. I'm like 10 feet away from this fucking shit.
Start running.
Oh my God.
Almighty.
There comes the water. Shit in front.
What a bunch of idiots. Run as soon as you see it.
Those are some tight fucking pants, first and foremost.
Let's not wait till it develops more. What are we doing?
That bridge got destroyed.
Absolutely.
I would have shit my pants, and I would have been running for the Highlands at that point.
Oh, I would never even have ventured this close to it in the first place.
Oh my God. Hey, that's pretty cool. Look, there it goes. Oh shit, that water's coming pretty close to us.
And now you're dead.
This guy stops. He stops right next to it. What the hell's he doing?
I guess these people are spoiled and aren't really worried about dying.
Fucking run.
A lot of people think they're invincible. It's unbelievable.
I saw a video of a Pakistani family, 18-person Pakistani family on this little island of a thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, they waited 2 hours for the government to come help, and they all perished in this flood.
Yeah.
And it's like, get the fuck out of there, guys. You guys are dumb. Because most people are thinking like, oh, wow, I could swim that, but you don't know what the fuck's in that water.
No, and downstream.
You don't know what you're getting thrashed about, and that's crazy talk, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Quit being dumb.
You got to leave quickly. Quickly. You don't wait around to assess the situation. You see danger, you get out of it immediately.
Then a helicopter's got to spend time and money to go and collect your ass because you were stupid enough to stay there. Whatever.
Well, it's a Pakistani helicopter. It's not our money.
All right, Derek, I got a test for you.
Yeah.
You got to give yourself 1 point for each thing you've never done, okay?
I already did this earlier.
Oh, you did the one too?
I did not score a single point.
Neither did I.
I've used all of these things. A rotary phone, floppy disks,
I
a
had
dictionary.
a rotary phone in my fucking house, actually.
I've watched a videotape.
But it was active. Yeah.
VHS. I had hundreds of VHS tapes with all
Typewriter.
kinds of things. Yeah.
Taking
Good
phones with
collection.
Film camera. I mean, all
Blockbuster.
I scored a 0. 100%.
Yep,
I've done
me
every
too.
single thing. And Grant Tuberville posted this, and I said basically he scored a 0 as well. And I go basically this test could be, hey, I'm an old millennial or older.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Because if you're my age, you've done all this shit.
Yeah.
And then anybody older than me has absolutely done this shit.
There was no way around it. You had to do these things. Yeah.
I mean,
you want to watch a good porn video?
Alex still has his VHS recorder. Damn.
You want to watch porn? You had to rent a VHS. Simple as that.
Or you watch scrambled porn on channel 99.
Well, that's not really porn.
You wait. That's a tit. That was a tit.
That was that's like Skinamax, right?
Yeah.
That's not really.
Does anyone still have a Nokia? Nokia still out and about, guys. That is a phone that basically a lot of bad people around the world have because they're cheap and easily accessible. But that was my first phone. I had the Nokia phone. You used to be able to play Snake on it. That was it, man. That was a shit, man.
Yeah. Yep. No points for me.
No points.
Vaxia Game Central for $2 says a desert dweller. If I see water, I'm running. Yes, good idea, my friend.
That shit happened in Texas recently, right?
Yep, you run.
Man.
You run fast. You don't
Texas,
wait.
Man, Texas, their ability to hold up water is for shit. They got to fix that shit real quick.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, that was really fucked up, man.
Oh, and also for the guy who murdered the 2 kids and then killed himself or herself, whatever. Yeah, don't do that. Don't
do that.
Don't go out killing kids. Your legacy's killing kids. That's what you want your legacy to be. You want to go out and all your family, friends, and anybody that's ever met you thinks, yeah, that's that guy who killed an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. Now, obviously, this person was sick in the head based on some of his writings. So, I guess, mental problems. I mean, we got a huge issue with mental challenges going on right now in our country, for sure.
Yeah. Fumar, I agree that was a floodplain and it was a bad place for camp. 100% agree. And they should have absolutely known that it was like the monsoon season in Texas. Horrible timing, horrible placement, and everything like that. But I will say, I was watching a YouTube video. They were talking about how they maintain, how they try to hold back the water north, whatever river runs through all the shit in Texas,
right?
The main river, whatever.
Yeah,
and everything just floods into this gully basically, and they just push it along.
Yep,
and then everybody south of the main cities just gets fucked.
Yeah.
Whereas if they were to say spread it out north of the city instead of just flooding it all into this little channel.
Yeah, well,
so it's bad management as a whole.
We talk about bad city planning, which we've talked about on the show before. This is bad ecological planning. Yeah. Like, you already know this is a flood basin, so why are we building a camp here? All right, bad idea. By the way, tonight
who knows? The camp could have been there for like over 100 years before.
It's been there for a long time. Yes,
but yes, it is a bad situation to be in right now.
It had become a floodplain, and nobody had warned anybody. Anyhow, tonight I am drinking something Brett has had, the Golden Monkey from Victory. It is like 9, right? 9.5 alcohol by volume. It's a mystical flavors to enlighten you, is what it says on the bottle. I quite like this, actually, for a domestic Belgian golden ale. Very good. Yeah. So you might be able to find this in your area because it's kind of mainstream in a way. I think I got this at Myers, maybe.
Possibly.
Yep. No. What's that in Nora, that food market with all the organic food, organic market near Target in Nora?
I haven't been in Nora in a while, man. It's been since I worked at the fairgrounds, so can't tell you. Whole Foods?
Whole Foods, yeah. That's where I got it. They got some decent beer at Whole Foods. I was really surprised. It
was shocking.
That's where I go to get all my seafood because it is the freshest.
Derek, I want you to be careful when drinking that beer and drinking all beers because you don't want to turn out like this chap.
Oh my God, I saw that too. Holy Jesus.
Bro, put on a shirt.
Like, I'm actually overweight and I don't have moves that big.
I'm sure if I was out there recording myself, it probably looks similar to that in the top ring. No, maybe with the rest of the body to match it too, but come on, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand.
Shorts. Wait till he starts moving, man.
Okay, this guy may be able to. He's a good shooter of the ball, though. He's
got one move. He's like Gabe Cal.
Yeah, I mean, he could edit that so it looks amazing. So I don't know. It's not
just
like
put a fucking shirt on, man. This wouldn't have become viral if he just wore a shirt.
Yeah, just wear a shirt. Number one.
Those are some short shorts, though, man.
How about lift some weights? That's one reason you're not going to make the U.S. men's national team. You look soft. You're like the doughboy. Okay. All
What's
right.
his OnlyFans?
So yeah,
that might be a comment. I don't know.
This should almost be illegal because those are size C cups. So I don't know. Yeah, he's kind of a doughboy, like the Pillsbury doughboy, and
he's got some fucking thunder thighs, man. Too, man.
Yeah, he would need to really tighten things up to make the U.S. men's national team, and I would also guess that he's kind of slow I would guess based on his body shape and his muscle mass, he's probably slow. So he may be a great kicker of the ball from outside the box, although he edits the shit out of that. I don't think he's going to make the U.S. men's national team.
Brian says the reason men get boobs is from drinking too much beer. And I agree. That's why I was just warning Derek. I'm like, hey, watch out on that beer drinking, buddy. Watch out on the beer drinking.
I only drink like 3 beers a week. So
right.
I'm good.
You're off safe, yeah.
One on one on both of our shows, and one with my dad on the weekend. So that's it. 3 beers.
Let's check this chap out and see what he can do.
I'm getting in shape to play professional soccer this summer. What sets me apart is being able to do one move during a training session for 2.
I'm just flat out saying there's no way. I mean, even if this is a joke, why would you possibly put this up there, man? With those jugs.
Yeah, he's losing us with the jugs and the body shape. And yeah, I'd like to see him do a time sprint.
Is this a filter? Is this a filter? It has to be a filter, right?
It's called the Moob filter.
2 hours straight and nothing else. And what you're about to see is my weak foot, or as I like to call it, my other foot.
His left foot.
He puts his shirt on for this. Hold on. I love that little Irish jig move here. He goes on. Watch this. Yep.
I mean, listen. We don't know how many shots he took, right? So, okay, he hit 3 all day. If you put me out there and made me kick like 100 balls, yeah, I'm going to have a few that look really good and hit the upper corner, right?
Yeah.
But I will have smaller moves, and really, I'd like to see how fast this guy can run in a straight line.
I mean, every time he was doing the move, he put his shirt on. I was just like, hey, for the get-go, put a shirt on, man. Come on.
Keep the shirt on. Yeah.
It'd be less viral. Young Salsa asks, how many puppies did he have?
Yeah, I saw that.
The real AJ says, not my proudest wink.
It's horrible.
So we got, does your girlfriend finish on your chest? Do you let the homies touch him?
What sets me apart is being able to do one move during a training
straight to the comments. Man, Titty FC.
As I like to call it.
Are you going to play Brawless? Almost rolled my ankle running from the comments.
I almost feel bad about this.
The milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. Thanks for the pointers.
Oh,
low testosterone and high estrogen, like dudes. Get your blood tested. He's putting his breast foot forward.
Sure, yes, exactly. Surely he has looked in the mirror and knows he's got large moves. And if you do that, keep your shirt on.
But you can flex them so they jiggle, right?
Yes, but that's for your own enjoyment in a personal space.
What sets me apart is being able to do one move during
all right.
There's at least 2 things that set you apart. And this chick over here is going,
yeah, exactly. All right. I feel bad about this. I'm sure he's splendidly, although very, he's living in a fucking dream world if he thinks he's going to make the U.S. men's national team.
Jeremiah, you can milk anything with nipples.
You can. And here's the thing. Like, I'm sure this guy is an all right shooter of the ball. I've not seen him.
Those are 2 great shots.
I've not seen him sprint. How fast is he in a straight line? Like, I don't know that. And like I said, with this body build, I'm almost saying you or I could probably beat him in a sprint. Mostly you, but
I'd like to think so.
Maybe me.
I do have 1.5 knees. You're right.
Yeah, our knees are shit, but I don't know. So anyhow, I wish him the best. How about joining a professional club team first before dreaming of breasts? Before dreaming of playing for the best. The very best team we've got in the national team, not the breast we've got, the best we've got. All right, sorry about that.
Did you see the interview with Paxton Aronson with Callaway One Crew?
Yes.
Jimmy was like, "Hey, Davies always talks about how he could beat Jack McGlynn on a full field sprint or whatever. What do you think would win in that sprint?" And he's just like, "Yeah, it'd be definitely my boy Davies." And everybody's like, "Oh, God."
Yep. No, I like that. I like the whole jab at Jack. Jack's slow. There's no doubt.
There's no doubt.
Yep.
No doubt. Yeah, it's current Davies too. It's not prime Davies. Prime Davies could be could probably beat anybody on our current squad in a foot race.
Yeah, it'd be close, man, with Wea or Jedi, maybe. Be pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
We talked about how we got tickets for the
Japan game.
Japan game, right? Yeah, it's Japan game. We got the Japan game tickets over in Columbus, and we paid for the stupid verified reseller prices.
Mm-hmm.
One of the party members wanted to sit more centrally located. There wasn't anything centrally located at the normal price because we waited like idiots.
Yeah.
And that's the I wanted to talk about this because this kept coming up all the time for like the last week, where people are like, look at the prices. U.S. Soccer's outpricing all their fans, which there's some truth to it. U.S. Soccer could tell Ticketmaster, no, I don't want any verified resellers. I want all the tickets just to go up at the prices that we list. They could do that. I don't know what back-end deals they're going to get from these resellers. Like maybe they get a certain percentage back on top of the ticket price that they would normally sell it at. Yeah. I don't know how that works out. Why would you do it if otherwise? Unless you're just concerned that you're not going to sell out.
They're not going to sell out. And by the way,
close to selling out Columbus right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
If you run into us, no, you cannot touch our moves. No.
Please do not bring all the boys to the yard.
Yeah. Do not even ask. We will not let you touch them.
So PT69 posts on the South Korea match, which is at Red Bull. Here are the verified reseller prices.
Yeah.
These are not the prices that U.S. Soccer placed for these locations. Section 205, almost $800. Are you fucking nuts?
That's nuts. Yeah, absolutely crazy.
What's the matter with you? But yeah, so I hate defending Ticketmaster. I hate defending U.S. Soccer when it comes to these prices and stuff like that. My only beef with all this is that I understand that even if U.S. Soccer said, hey, we don't want any verified resellers, that there will be scalpers out there that'll buy a group of tickets here, there, everywhere, and then go to StubHub, go to SeatGeek, and resell them. Mm-hmm. I know that's going to be a thing. My big issue is that when we were looking at tickets, and the tickets that we bought, the first 5 or 6 rows of the section we looked at were the verified resellers.
Yeah.
Which means that those tickets were not available to anybody else. And that's kind of what pisses me off in that sense. I hate the fact that they say, hey, we'll give you this group over here, and this group over here, and this group over here, and you guys can sell whatever you want.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Bottom line is we will be there anyhow, folks. You'll be 3 of us, Brett and I and his friend, Chad. So we're going to have a good time.
I'll flat out say there's not a single ticket in this all these amazing deals
that I would purchase. Nope.
We were close to that 183, but we weren't quite there yet.
No, well, it was like 140 in the end, right?
With all the fees and shit like that. And that's my other thing too. Like, does Ticketmaster make the fees from when the resellers get the block of tickets, and then when they resell them on Ticketmaster, do they also get another batch of fees?
Yeah.
Like is Ticketmaster double bubbling these fees?
Could be. We'd have to look into that a little bit more. All right, for the 281 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with Grandma. I promise we're getting to soccer soon.
That was soccer there.
That was
right
soccer. There. And so was the Moobs guy. Yeah. I don't know what his real name is. So.
We've done 90% soccer so far.
Yep. I did call him the Moobs guy. I don't know what his real name is, so sorry. Moobs guy. Sorry. Yeah. If I knew your real name, I might use that. Kyle Bond. The Bonfire. I love his.
I was going to make the reference, but I just noticed that was his handle too. So
his handle, yeah, the Bonfire. I heard some things about Kyle. I'm not going to repeat here. All right,
he's a good chap.
Anyhow, the excitement of Messi's gang has spoiled
my interactions with Kyle on Twitter. He's a good.
Have been good. Mine too. Just people tell me things. All right, and it's not horrible or anything like that. It's just that.
Oh, there you go. Noob soccer is my new favorite type of soccer.
That's hot, Robin. The excitement of Messi's gang has boiled away, leaving an unlikable husk rotting in the Miami Sun. All right, John Steinbeck. Okay. That's what that sounds like to me. John Steinbeck novel.
It's a wonderful description, Derek. That almost comes up close to your ability to paint a picture.
Yeah.
You're a little more graphic with it, though.
I feel like I'm reading Mice of Men. That's what I feel like I'm reading. Reading
the best
that.
of time. Was the worst of time.
Lionel Messi has lost control of his Inter Miami buddies. He never had control of them that way anyhow. Who are no longer the heroes MLS wanted, I guess. I wrote about what Inter Miami have become. Yeah, I mean, listen, it was ugly. It was gross. It was bad. It didn't look good. I agree. But we're all going to forget about this in like a week and move on.
I love it. They threw a Batman reference in there. It's like heroes that they wanted. He's the hero that he needs.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it was ugly. I mean, I thought it was ridiculous when I was watching it. I was giggling a little bit, and I didn't even watch it live. So there's that. So I must have watched the clips afterwards and just thought, what's going on here? Why are they getting so worked up about a game that doesn't really a League Cup that isn't really that important?
Doesn't League's Cup grant you into the Champions League or something like that?
I don't know. Does it?
I don't know. Maybe.
The Champions Cup, you mean? They don't call it the Champions League anymore. So I don't know.
It says Suarez didn't bite a guy at least. Well, I mean, look at this
on
right here. It's like he's trying to.
But he spit on a guy. He spit on a guy. So there's that.
Well, he's just like, hey, Suarez, cheeky bugger, stay away from me.
Apparently, like Ovid Vargas was a big antagonizer in all this, just like laughing in their faces. We're heroes. Yep.
Boosh.
Poked him right in the cheek.
Boosh.
Yep.
Clocked him right in the chin, man. He went down like a sack of potatoes. Oh, he's out for the count.
Hey, man, pointer fingers can hurt.
That was a slight jab to the chin.
Yeah, cheek. He was like, you're being cheeky. I thought he got him right in the that's like in the face.
Yeah, it's like lower chin right there.
Yeah,
you got him right here. Get him right here.
I think it's like upper chin, like right here.
Huh? No, it's like this. It's like right here.
Yeah. All right. Anyhow, it's ridiculous. So, I mean,
I would have gone down too if I got hit like that. Bucky, you might as well do anything you can to get this guy suspended for at least a couple matches.
I mean, if you are Busquets and you're the Miami guys, you can't expect that every team is going to bow down and suck your cock and balls. At some point, they're going to be cheeky. They're going to be in your face. They're going to bloviate and brag about their victory over you. You just got to be a little bit, I guess, humble enough or realistic enough to take it and move on. And
Suarez is a big fan of the Hawk Tua lady, apparently.
Yes. They weren't big enough to just go, ha, whatever, happy for you, bye. Instead, they wanted to make a big deal out of this. So anyhow, it is. So it's, for me, not even that big of a news, but I did say
I mean, sometimes the fandom really takes to how the players act on the pitch, and they take it out to the streets.
Oh, yeah, I saw
take it out of the
too.
streets. Fuck you. That guy took a cone to the face, didn't even flinch, man.
He got hit by,
look at him.
Hit by a stick.
Legit, guys.
That guy was like, I'm going to pick up the stick. Yeah.
It's my stick. Get away from my stick.
Jesus. What a clown show.
Fucking sad.
Sad.
Oh, was that somebody that said the in there? Yeah.
Somebody's
right
getting
look at that guy.
That guy's getting beat by a
drop,
stick.
Man.
Yeah. He's getting
Dropped.
beat with a stick.
Bam.
Oh, well. Anyhow, please, people. I know none of our people would do this, but for crying out loud.
Rob and all you guys, I mean, I know you're not used to this type of hooliganism.
Can we not do this?
In the UK and all.
Seattle fans can't fight. That's not
surprising.
surprising.
This is how dangerous it's here in the United States, because you got to watch out at soccer games, man.
Yeah.
Crazy talk.
I'm not surprised that Seattle fans can't fight. I would say, well, no, I'm not going to say anything. All right, anyhow.
Stop it.
Not going to say what I was going to say. All right. Manly men. All right, what else we got?
Jeremiah goes, LOL. He's laughing his ass off. It's diet hooliganism. It's hooliganism light.
Yeah, kind of.
All right. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on to a favorite segment of ours here.
Do not panic. Do not panic. Cap them now. Cap them now. Okay. Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. is eligible to represent these 5 countries in international football. What are those 5 countries? United States of America, Portugal, Spain, England, and wherever the fuck Cape Verde is. Most likely he will play for Cape Verde. Sorry.
Hey, he scored. No. His club in Saudi Arabia, he scored like 9 goals in 1 game.
Oh, break out the jism juice. Seriously.
Yeah.
No, he will most likely play for Cape Verde. Not going to play for us or Portugal, Spain, or England. Listen,
I heard somebody mentioned, I think maybe it was Edgar, maybe mentioned that England and Cape Verde are off the table. Like he's not eligible according to FIFA for those 2.
Okay, then he's playing for nobody. How's that?
There you go.
There you go. Nobody. He will play for nobody because he's not going to be good enough. That's like,
I agree with Brian that he's probably going to get called up through the youth ranks simply because he's Ronaldo's son. And I don't know. Maybe he's good enough to make the youth ranks. I don't know where he's going to end up. And this is one of those Alberts and Cavens where I'm just like, hey guys, let's reel back. Let's see what the kid can do.
Can we wait for him to be good enough first?
Exactly. That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because U.S. men's national team exes Cavan, Sullivan, Freeman, Diego Luna, Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. I didn't even mention Matisse Albert in there. U.S. men's marketing team.
Yeah. Let's just wait to him to be good enough. Let's not jump the gun here. Either way. So, yeah. But more than likely not good enough for anybody. Okay? That's the more than likely end result. Could be wrong, but I haven't seen in my lifetime a lot of young kids from major stars. Like, what about Beckenbauer's kids? Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, come on. Let's just Cruyff's kids.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things like when your dad's like a massive superstar and he's got all the money in the world, that you don't necessarily train as hard as somebody as maybe your dad growing up because your dad grew up with nothing. You know, I mean, LeBron's kid isn't as good as LeBron was.
Well, and he's 6 inches shorter too. He didn't get all the genes that he was supposed to get. I mean, Jonathan Klinsmann being an exception, except for Jonathan Klinsmann is a goalkeeper because his dad was so self-centered that
ready to shoot on you.
Yeah, when he was a pro, he'd be like, "Hey, I need to practice getting the fucking goal, you horse's ass." And then, Jonathan became a good goalkeeper because of it. So there we go.
Dad, this is the worst. God damn.
Shut up and keep saving my shots. All right. I got to practice. I am Das Baker. All right.
All right. Sticking with the dual nat panics.
It's quoting somebody. I felt more comfortable and more at home with the U.S., and that's why I chose them, said Maxi Cardoso. Seems to have chosen to go with the American youth national team over the Argentinian youth national team as he played for both. He's also U.S. men's national team captain, U17 captain. U17 should also have players like Matisse Albert, Kevin Sullivan later this year in the U17 World Cup. I guess if we want to win it, because all those guys are good enough to play for the U20s, honestly.
Well, they might play for both U17. They pull Josh Sargent and play for both.
I know. Maybe they will.
They could.
But
it's a pretty stacked. Can be a pretty stacked squad.
U20 squad's not stacked though.
That kid from Columbus, striker. What's his face? That scored like 6 goals in one of the qualifiers.
Oh, I don't know.
Adams or whatever his name is, something Adams or whatever.
No idea.
U20 or U17? I don't even recall anymore.
I have no clue. Anyhow, good for Maxi Carrizo. I wouldn't want to have to fly all the way to Argentina.
There it is.
I wouldn't want to have to fly all the way to Argentina every time I had to play a U17 friendly either. So yes, I'd rather stay here in the U.S. Yes.
Always promising to hear a young talent choose their roots. And I say roots as in the country they were born into.
Yeah, whatever. It's good. It's good.
Fuck the family. I'm staying here, motherfuckers.
I'm not flying to Buenos Aires every time there's a friendly for the U17s. Just not doing it.
Boomer says same time zone though.
Yeah, it's still a long flight though. That's a long flight.
Halfway around the world south.
Yes. Yeah, it's a long flight.
Yeah, flying south isn't that bad. What is the quote from Lord of the Rings? I always do enjoy going south. I feel like I'm going downhill.
Or Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I don't know. One of those books. All right, what else we got?
Another favorite segment of the show?
Transfer news, transfer news. Who's getting monitored on transfer news? Who's getting ogled on transfer news? Transfer news. Everyone loves that transfer news but me. Whatever.
All right, for the 307 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. Give your stepsister a kiss on the cheek just from us. Don't use tongue. Benjamin Cremaschi leaves Inter Miami and joins Parma. Here we go. Loan with 4.5 million buy option clause, not mandatory, won't be. Medical this week for the midfielder leaving MLS. He will not be purchased by Parma, would be my prediction. Hate to be the Grinch who stole Christmas, but I'm not sure how this is going to work out for Ben Cremaschi at Parma. I wish him the best. I hope
Parma stays up, and I hope they end up buying him. That's what I hope. Do I expect it? Probably not. But
there we go.
This is quite the step up, quite frankly, from where the rumors. I think he was rumored because he wanted to leave Inter Miami because he wasn't playing at all. Inter Miami wants to play 11 straight non-U.S. citizens, and just wants to not play him. So it's like he wanted to leave. I think the rumor was he was going to possibly heading to Charlotte. I think it was.
Yeah, but he ends up in Parma. Hey, you know what? If this challenge ends up making him a better player, good for him.
Yeah.
By the way, part of the news that you don't have today that I do have to bring up is Conrad de la Fuente couldn't cut it at Lausanne in Switzerland, where he was pretty much a bench player the whole time. There in Switzerland, he has moved to Quetta. No, it's Ceuta, I think. Quetta. It's like it's in North Africa. But
I saw it and I did not pull it up because I didn't think we gave a damn at this point.
Well, we make fun of it.
Yeah,
so
it's fair.
So he's now going to go play in La Liga 2 for a North African club that is an independent city in part of Spain. So good for him. Good luck to him. All of you lovers of Conrad, I hope you've learned maybe a lesson not to get too excited about somebody just because they play at Barcelona. Okay? Okay? All right, then.
Okay, well, while we're sticking on the Parma train here.
Okay. On the Parma train. Tom, don't bogart that joint, my friend. Pass it over to me. All right, Tom.
Ooh, now we're getting struck.
Who's never, ever replied to one of my texts to him or messages. You jerk. I guess your goddamn mustache is so fucking special that you don't have to reply to me. Okay. I'm a big enough man to accept that.
Whatever.
All right. Anyhow, I could say some things. I've also heard some things about Tom recently.
Like what are the titles of the porn? What titles of porn movies have you actually been in?
No, none of those.
Yeah, that's the only reason to have that mustache going on, man.
Oh, people tell me things. Anyhow.
Did you order a pizza?
People tell me things. Anyhow,
Which
sources.
Which bathroom pipes do I've got to go clean? Let's go.
I do know this. Tom is an extremely short mammal. Very short. Yeah. That's not the crux of the funny parts of it, but he is very short. I didn't know that. I mean, I've never seen him, next to anybody standing. Yeah. So, sources, says Tom Bogert, Parma reached out to find out what it might cost to sign U.S. men's national team midfielder Jack McGlynn from the Houston Dynamo ahead of tonight's deadline, but decided they could not afford it. All right.
Kind of like that Kern, right? Bird.
Yes, Kern. Hey, we got a player at Kern still, right?
Yeah.
We do. Mr. Lund. Anyhow, he played this weekend. So, I guess people are unhappy about this because, once again, I don't know how many midfielders they need because they just got Cremaschi. I wonder if it was either Cremaschi or McGlynn, and they took Cremaschi instead of McGlynn because the price that Houston put up was ridiculous.
One's a loan and one's an actual purchase up front.
Correct. Yes.
So,
yeah.
I mean, they were actively seeking Gio for about $6 million. They ended up making some like $40 million on transfers this summer. I don't know if they decided they couldn't afford it being like a legit reason, but maybe they're saying, yeah, he's not worth
they could afford
that
him
much.
Right. They're just like, well,
Let's be real here, guys.
You're not raping us. We're not getting raped in this deal.
You want
so
how much?
Mm-hmm.
We'll pass. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, what a roller coaster that would have been for McGlynn. Over the off season, the preseason, he hears from his agent that Union sold him to Houston, and he's like, "What the fuck, dude? Why didn't they talk to me about this shit?" He goes to Houston, plays for half a season, then all of a sudden gets picked up by Parma. That would have been crazy.
Would have been good, I guess, for him in his ongoing fight to make the U.S. men's national team, unless Poch has already decided he's on the team.
Unless there's some kind of a... Well, he might have thought that his opportunities were better at Houston.
He might. Kind of like how Aronson Paxton believes that his move to Colorado is an impressive and important move in order to make the U.S. men's national team under Poch. Okay. Yeah. You got a lot of weirdness going on right now, folks.
Well, I mean, if you stay here in MLS or you come back to MLS, and you do well, you're almost guaranteed at least one window a year that you can show off your goods to the coach.
God, I hope that's not what he's relying on.
One window. Yeah, that one window would have been better for him than his previous 2 or a year and some change in Europe. 2 years.
Keyshawn says that Poch has got an MLS fetish, kind of like you have a fetish with pegging, right?
Who doesn't, Derek? Come on.
And public bathrooms.
In public bathrooms, yes, absolutely.
Yes. Reach around city.
If there's no danger to it, then where's the excitement coming from?
Yeah, that's why you're aiming to climb Mount Everest next year. All right. Mm-hmm. Yes, danger is what you seek.
That entire mountain's a bathroom. You're right.
Danger is what you seek. All right. Julian Vivas for $4.99. Edgar Moreno, our friend, has he thinks Diego Luna will be an MLS lifer. Jack McGlynn will also be an MLS lifer. I want both of them far from U.S. men's national team. I will say this about Luna. He has expressed some doubts about moving abroad at this time of his career. That doesn't mean he will always express that, but I also understand that Luna is a very unique player and that some coaches and managers in Europe will have a hard time figuring out where he might fit in on their teams.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to look at the fact that most likely MLS is going to be his biggest paycheck. And same thing with McGlynn at that point, too. You got to decide. I mean, this is for any U.S. player going abroad or actually a U.S. player already abroad. I mean, how many of Pulisic's, the Gios, the Sargents would sit there and say, hey, I can make 3, 4, 5 times as much by going back to MLS?
Right. And by the way, nowadays, you don't go to Denmark, don't go to Norway, don't go to Finland, don't go to Sweden, don't go to Austria, don't go to Switzerland, don't go clubs that are a step down from MLS. If you're going to go to Europe, go to Europe. Go to a top 5 league. Otherwise, it's not really worth your time the most of the time. It's not going to be.
It really depends on your age.
And it depends on your age.
Let's say if you're 16, 17 years old and you have a team from Denmark or Belgium that's coming knocking, Holland that coming knocking.
If it's Belgium,
make that move because you'll have more eyes on you there at that point if you can jump up and excel.
If it's Holland, I'm saying yes. If it's PSV, Ajax, Feyenoord, etc., right? If it's Belgium, it better be a top 2 or 3 club. And by the way, those don't always stay the same. Okay, so you're going to be picky there. And you'd like to think Anderlecht would be a solid, but Anderlecht doesn't always win the Belgian league. So I think you need to be picky at this point. And just to be clear, this is just really an emphasis to anybody who's confused out there, and none of our listeners are, but say somebody new watching. Going to Europe is not the end-all, be-all if it's not to the right place in the right league. Wasting your time away at Westerlo has done absolutely zero for both Reynolds and Yao. Now, for the national team and for their prospects of moving up to a better team. They're both stuck in those leagues. So you got to be careful where you go.
It's like you got to start looking at this point. Man, you got to start working on some of those coaching licenses. That way, when you do end up finishing your career, you could have like a coaching B license or whatever. And hey, I played in Denmark.
Yeah.
And clubs here stateside who cream all over it. Holy shit.
Yep. Somebody mentioned Club Brugge. By the way, they're not always at the top of Belgium either anymore. And there was a recent American who was at Club Brugge who decided he would rather have a modeling career named Owen Odasawi. So
he fucking blew up on some fans on Instagram too.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. I had to pull it up, but I did not pull it up for the show.
So what was he all pissed about?
People were like, "Oh, so how's that soccer career going for you?"
He's retired, isn't he?
He's just basically like, "Fuck you, motherfuckers! I'm not some show cat. I'm not some show horse that you can just trot out onto a field." I'm paraphrasing here, but it's
but that's totally was his whole problem in the first place. Remember, both teams. Especially when he got to Club Brugge, they're like, we want to play you at center back. He's like, I don't want to play center back. Well, we think you would be good at center back. Happened with Berhalter. Berhalter's like, oh, we'd like to play you at center back. I don't want to play center back. Well, we want to play you there. Well, are you be willing to at least try it? No, not going to do it. Small minds gets to small places. All right. That's all I have to say about that. He definitely lost his mind. Right. What else we got here?
Here we go. We'll post that right there.
Lost the plot, man. What happened to your supposed football career? Fuck football, you little peanut dweeb. What am I, fucking gladiator? Matter of fact, just put me in a zoo, why don't you? I bet that'll do the trick. I'm Batman, Scarface, Joker, all that shit in real life. Whatever. What? That dude's got a problem. He's got a problem. An anger issue, number one, which we already knew about based on his behavioral problems at Wolves and then Bruges. So he's got, and then with Berhalter. So we know he's a head case.
Yeah.
So I hope he figures that out for himself and finds something. Because he was a talented player. He had some skills to pay some bills. And he wiped that all away just to be a lunatic.
But there's talk that we reported on it too, that he was actually making more money in his modeling / fashion career than he was as a soccer player.
No,
how long that would last it might be, hey, maybe that last year was great, but this year,
Apparently, he's making more money as a gladiator. That's what he said.
So I bring this one. This one's up is kind of obsolete at this point because the window's closed. But this is just reiterate the reason why we do the whole transfer news with the NOOS. Not to take everything we hear on the Twitter seriously.
This is one of them, yeah, for sure.
But apparently there were plenty of teams that were eyeing out that Diego Luna cat.
Who the fuck's Rudy Goletti? Can we wave over him and see who he is?
Sports journalist for Team Talk.
Tribal football. Nothing against any of them, but
dude, it's legit. They've got a siren and fire.
I'm Rudy, if you believe that all those teams are super interested and that those teams' heads have been turned. I mean,
like owls? Are these teams owls?
That's we're going back to the whole ogling. Celta Vigo are ogling Diego Luna. Parma are through a microscope looking at Diego Luna. Through binoculars, Verona are not only watching Diego Luna, but breaking out the lube. Girona has gone straight for the lube, but their eyes are closed. They're just listening to takes of Diego Luna play and getting hot and bothered. All right, so it's all ridiculous. This is so stupid. Like, don't make posts like this to get hits. Come on. All details on Team Talk? I bet you
104, almost 105,000 views on them, man.
Maybe there are some details on the Team Talk we should have read, Brett. Maybe so, but I'm not buying this.
Yeah, this cat's got some pull, man. Almost 160,000 followers. He's legit.
Just because you get a lot of hits doesn't mean dick. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Eldon Hasek for $5. The quota hat fits you well, Derek. Don't forget to pack it for Columbus. Dude, I pack it wherever I go because you never know when the ladies show up. But I will say this. The quota hat does not fit me. And I'm a guy that's been actively waiting to hear something about a quota that I can believe, that I can report to you. And if there was any quota business going on, any funky business, I would be the first one here to tell you about it. And I have lots of people who would tell me about it. Nope. No proof, no evidence. Can't say that. Now, you can say, well, there are, exculpatory, and there's outside evidence. And if you put it all together, you add it all. No, can't do that. Now, does the fact that Poch is in the United States and a lot of people he's been sitting down and talking to are probably pro MLS, has that affected him in some way? Maybe. I don't know. But that's on Poch. That's on Poch because there is no rule he has to have this many MLS players that he's psyched about or ogling at this point. That's on Poch. It's on Poch in the end.
I'll come back to that super chat in just a second. I want to pull this up so I don't lose it. Jeremiah Cole says y'all should have Ronaldo on the show. And
I was in contact with him a few weeks ago, and then I forgot about it.
Frank says Ronaldo was on the show about 6 months ago. Oddly enough, wasn't 6 months ago. A little bit longer than that, although it feels like it was only like 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's like 9, isn't it? 9 months ago?
It's getting close to about a year now. It's pretty, yeah. It's about 9, let's say, yeah.
Yeah.
About that range.
We'll have him back, guys. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
He knows about our show, and
he's the one to reach out to us and say, hey, let's get back together, guys.
Right.
We'll get him.
He watches it on occasion, not every day. Look, see Game Central for $2. Don't go to Latvia or Luxembourg. Yes. Don't go to those two.
Nobody's talking about Latvia or Luxembourg.
What are we talking about? Latvia? Luxembourg? Who said that? Name it. Landon Donovan. Moron. Jabbers for $2. An MLS quota doesn't need to be official to exist. No, it's not official. And I don't think it exists even in unofficial terms. I think that Poch was pissed at the A team after some embarrassing losses and some poor play and decided, well, I'm going to go find some other guys to replace these dudes and teach them a lesson. And while he was doing it, he started to think, I kind of like some of these guys. And I think some of them should stick around, like Diego Luna and Freeman and Berhalter and, oh, shit, every goalkeeper we have. So, you know.
Well, no, you can't even say that because we only have 3 from the MLS crew that's stuck around at this point. We have 2 new guys. Celentano under Poch is new. Oh, he's not new to the U.S. squad. He's been there before, but and then Klinsmann's brand spanking new.
Fumar says, never mind what Poch is saying and doing. Derek Lee knows him. No, everything I'm actually saying here is based on what Poch is saying and doing. Exactly what the point is.
I honestly think that maybe there's to some degree Poch is like, well, I can just call in some of these guys from MLS. They'll do just as adequately quality job.
Oh yeah.
But I think for the most part, it's just that all. I mean, he may carry over a handful. I would say over that might be contending for that World Cup spot. But I think as a whole, I think he was primarily just doing these MLS camps just to really kick our boys in the rear, saying
kick him in the nutsack.
Outside of maybe just Pulisic, none of you guys are safe.
Yeah, right. He wanted to send a message, but then along the way, when you start hanging out with players, you start to kind of like them.
Unless they do donuts and
unless they're horrible. Well, unless you do donuts with a golf cart like Skelly did.
Allegedly.
And we'll get into that too, why Skelly's been one of the disc guys. But I do think right now, currently, if we were going to the World Cup tomorrow, I do think all 3 goalkeepers would be MLS players. I think Tim Ream's there, although I don't really consider him an MLS player because he played almost his whole career in Europe. Sure. I think Arson probably makes this team. Freeman.
Sure.
Berhalter.
Maybe Freeman, yeah.
Berhalter.
Yeah.
For sure. Luna. I think those are almost guarantees, semi-guarantees right now. I don't think anybody else is, but I think those guys are. So we'll see if that's true or if somehow the wheat gets separated from the chaff at some point and we get something different. I don't think Aljumon's making this team.
I don't know. It's just it's. I mean, it'd be unless we bring a 5th back. I mean, I can't get over unless he's got something personally against Scally. I can't get over the fact that Scally would be dropped in place of, say, bringing in Freeman. The only reason I bring this up is even under Poch.
I agree.
Scally has been asked to play right back and a 4-back. He's been asked to play kind of a right center back and a 3-back at times. And he's been asked to play left back.
Yep.
He's been all over the fucking pitch. He's universal. He's a consistent defender, not so much getting into the attack. So base your team around that. Not around him, of course. That's a horrible person to base your team around. But say, hey, there'll be times where we can go with kind of a 3-back permanently and push our attackers forward.
Yep. And people, stop giving Poch an out that he's somehow being paid to do this, to be a MLS shill, if that's how you want to phrase it.
Do we know who the investors were that paid him the $6 million?
Stop. Yes, some of it we know. Stop giving him an out. There was nothing in his contract that requires him, I can guarantee you this, to play MLS players. If he's doing this, it's on him, and he should take the blame. Period. He should take the blame. Stop. Listen, we all have problems with Garber. We all got problems with U.S. soccer already. I have to say, I don't think they're up in his asshole telling him he's got to play MLS players. I think he's doing this shit on his own. On his own. And he should take blame for it on his own. He's a big boy. He's wearing big boy pants. He's getting paid big boy money to make the big boy decisions. And he's making some really piss poor decisions so far. So blame him. I don't think there's a quota. Blame him. He's making it look like there is. That's on him. On him. Can you imagine?
Chamber says, y'all do overrate Scally quite a bit, in my opinion. I point out his faults, and I give him credit on his abilities. I mean, he's a solid defender.
Very.
He's a solid defender.
Yep.
He's borderline useless in the attack.
Absolutely.
And I not even, as we'll get in later, talking about the whole right back and the role that's given to them. I personally think myself, but I don't think that makes a difference with Scally. He doesn't do anything getting into the attack. He's horrible at it.
Yep.
But he is a solid fucking defender. Period.
Yep. And if that's not what Poch wants, then yeah, he will be gone. Because let's be honest, he played him as a right center back and then a left center back. Not really as a right back or a left back. So if he doesn't consider Scally center back material, I guess he's not going to be on the team.
Do you want to kind of dive into that whole right back issue we've been having for a while?
I guess.
So it's been argued primarily by us and maybe some other people that it would seem that Poch is granting our left back more freedoms to move up than our right back. It would seem, right?
Well, when Scally plays, yes, for sure.
Well, fuck. Let's talk about when Freeman plays.
True, as well there. Yep.
So let's just look at some heat maps from the Gold Cup, and then we'll look at Freeman. Actually, let's start with Freeman as an Orlando player. So here's Freeman playing for Orlando, and you can see he is all over the board on that right hand side, even so much to favoring even in the attack in their offensive half for Orlando, right?
Yeah,
he gets up in the attack. He's an athletic guy who gets up in the attack.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the Trinidad and Tobago game. Freeman got right about halfway.
Yep.
Didn't push up, but what about Arson? Arson spent more time in our offensive half, our offensive third, than he did in our defensive third.
Yep.
Well, here's the Saudi game. Freeman spent most of his time in our defensive half, sometime a little bit up, pushed up. And let me point this out. Me saying this doesn't mean that Freeman doesn't get up from time to time. Sure, he'll get up there, but he's predominantly staying back. In this game, Arson kind of stayed halfway as well. But he did get up in the attack consistently. Oh, sorry, it's this way. Yeah, he was in and around the box all around.
Yep.
Here's the Haiti game. Same thing. This one was with Tolkien, too.
Yeah.
Tolkien was getting up in the attack. Freeman sat back a lot of the game. Costa Rica. He got in there at least with Costa Rica.
Okay, chat-wise.
What?
Chat-wise. Fumar.
Which one? This? The...
No, about Cardoso.
Right here, then?
Poch watched Johnny play and left him at home. All right, people. Listen, this is the last time I'm going to explain this. Brett can do it if he wants to, but it's the last time I'm explaining this. The plan was to leave as many of these guys with their new clubs as absolutely possible, if possible. The plan was never to bring Cardoso, Balogun, Weah, never. But with Weah, there were no other options. We have got no depth. Even after calling up Zendejas, we got no depth at wing. Gotta call. Yeah. Well, gotta call up Weah. Cardoso.
Well, sorry.
Plan was never to bring Cardoso, ever.
Real quick, you mentioned
we
why.
Just explode.
But no.
Explain why Weah was there. We just explained it. Holy crap.
This is the problem. We're gonna get into this with the talk with Gio Scally coming up in an interview and other things. There's levels of inconsistency with what Poch says and what Poch does.
Absolutely.
He says, hey, I want to make sure these guys who are at new clubs are staying with their clubs, but then he calls up Weah, who's at a new club, and it's just like there's levels of inconsistency there. And as Seb's going to mention later on, do we take Poch at his word, what he says? Or should we be reading in between the lines?
Not 100%. Yes, you need to read between the lines too. But the fact that Balogun is there and the fact that it took 2 days to get Balogun to say yes and his club to say yes and be okay with it with time limitations of him coming to camp was because Brian White suddenly became injured and wasn't available. Do you really think that Poch believes that Brian White's a better player than Balogun? Anybody that believes that is a moron, including Poch, if that's what Poch believes. And he does not believe that. I am telling you, people, that is not the case. But he went down the list after Brian White went out and said, I got nobody else in MLS to call up at striker. So now I got to go call up Balogun. I didn't want to, but now I'm going to. Not because I wanted Balogun coming back from injury to have full freedom to win his starting spot at Monaco. So I don't know. This is not that complicated. It is not complicated. We've gone down the player I did without Brett. I went down the player list and explained almost every player except for fucking Nathan Harriel. That one doesn't make any sense.
At all. Jeffers just saying, nah, Derek, this is...
Vasquez is injured. Injured. Stop bringing up Vasquez. He's injured. Sorry, Brett. Go ahead.
That's right. Nah, Derek, this is Cope for an explanation. Wright can play out wide and could have come in as a forward or a winger, but Poch didn't bring him in despite being at covered. What's his fucking club?
Coventry City.
Coventry.
I've already explained the Haji Wright problem that is going on right now behind the scenes. It's pretty simple too.
Well, as Frank goes on to saying, ban Scally for donuts, ban Haji for being competitive. We have no depth.
Yes. Now, I'm not saying any of this is acceptable. Poch is a fucking moron. You're not getting the point. He's still an idiot, but it isn't what you think he's an idiot for. Haji Wright was not called up, and there are lots of rumors going on in the background about this, and I don't know how true they are, but certainly you could see it when he played, that he was not happy as coming off the bench for Ajiman in the last time he was called up. And when he scored, did he celebrate? Hell no, he didn't. He was pissed. And he picked that ball up out of the goal and ran back to the center field. Yeah. Didn't celebrate a lick, and he looked pissed off. And there are plenty of people talking about that he was pissed off and unhappy the whole camp when Ajiman was picked over him to start at center forward. Yes. And I don't blame him, frankly, for being upset about that. I really don't.
But Julian says Griffin Yao is a winger, but he also plays in a European league.
That he doesn't
and MLS
value.
Is more competitive.
Like he does, Julian. Poch does not value the Belgian league at all. I can tell you this. Does not. So he could do whatever he wanted in the Belgian league. And so could Marlon Fossey from here until tomorrow. They're not going to get called up. Period. End of story.
Boomer mentions Morris Tessman.
Tessman was left for the same reasons. New team, basically starting over. No, starting over in the sense that it's a new team. They lost a lot of guys at PSG.
Wow.
He had a shot to start in the starting lineup. Tessman will be back. So will Cardoso will be back. All these guys will be back in October, and if they aren't, then you can come take a shit on me. But after that, I'm going to tell you I told you so, and you would have wish you would have listened. But you're not listening, and you're not looking at the facts and the actual evidence.
Well, I've got to say, obviously, he's had Tessman in.
Yes.
He's had Morris in. Yes, I understand Morris is going on a fucking hot streak and stuff like that, but I mean, you call both players in, and they have maybe in his eyes, maybe a meh window.
They did.
You know, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm going to call in Luca De La Torre. I'm going to call in Sebastian Berhalter, who was here all month with me. I get to see him week in, week out. And it's a massive uptake. The same argument I always made with Camp Cupcake. And then the immediate following international window, you always see about 7 or 8 Camp Cupcake players, regardless of who the coach is, because the coach had 2, 3, 4 weeks with those players.
Yeah, and then we have Poch coming out and say the players in Europe who are not getting called up not now, like McKennie, like Tessman, some of the players he mentioned in name, don't need to worry. They just need to go out and perform with their clubs. Like, if you don't want to take him at his word, fine. You think he's a liar? Fine.
Well, I think this is where the massive disconnect's happening, guys, right now. We're maybe we're giving our reasonings why we think Poch is doing this. We're not agreeing with Poch.
We're not. We hate what he's doing.
We flat out said that Morris is getting boned. He's absolutely been on fire in the championship. Why was he not called in is beyond fucking me.
And we said this is stupidity. Call them all in now. We only have so many months until the World Cup. What are we dilly-dallying around for?
Doing? Yeah.
What we're doing now is absolutely stupid. We have said this. You're killing the messenger. I am telling you why this was done, and you're saying, no, that's not why this was done. Yes, this is why this was done. You think there's some sort of weird ulterior motive going on here. Well, maybe so. And maybe if half the team is MLS players in October, we should all go out and quit this team. Quit it. Absolutely stop watching if that's what really happens. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I do think we're going to see McKennie. I do think we're going to see Balogun.
Yeah.
I do think we're going to see Tessman. I think we're going to see a lot of players that you guys want to see, but some of them weren't available for injuries or coming back from injury, and others Poch seriously didn't want to call in the first place. He didn't even want Weah, but he had no choice. We got no depth there. He didn't want Balogun to come. He wanted him to stay at Monaco, but he had no choice after Brian White went down with left testicular herpes. He had to call up Balogun. Now, you could say call up Haji. Fair question. We have been talking about, I have been, about this show actually for a couple weeks, maybe longer, about the Haji problem.
Mm-hmm.
And how there could be some friction going on there.
Ever since that first match against Trinidad and Tobago, when he got the ball and ran back that way, we were talking about it. So, I mean, I guess from our perspective, you got to take what Poch say is like, hey, this is my last opportunity to see certain players, blah, 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 which is a fucking lie. He's got a January window. Why not hold some of those MLS players you want to take a look at and look at them in the January window? You don't need to necessarily burn another fucking window like we did with the Turkey and Swiss matches. We didn't need to burn that window either, but we did.
Yeah.
So why not hold some of these players off that you want to take a look at within MLS and bring them in January when you have all the time in the world to look at them?
So anybody thinking this is some sort of peculiar defense of fucking Pochettino, you got us wrong. He's an idiot. And yes, as the headline said, he's a moron.
I think when you just said that, I thought about I can't think of the fucking movie now. Back to the Future 3. When he's inside the bar and you had the main protagonist antagonist out back yelling at him, he goes, Michael J. Fox goes, he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's an idiot. We don't agree with what he's doing. We think it's complete stupidity. We're only translating what he's saying for you, since nobody watched his interview and nobody read it, apparently, what he said about some of the individual players and what his plan is. I'm telling you, he's not necessarily lying about the plan. I guess we'll find out in October if McKennie's not there and Cardoso's not there, and we still got a bunch of MLS dudes playing center midfield and starting the games in October. Then we all should be extremely freaking out and maybe even writing Betty Crocker, and saying, this guy's got to go. This guy's a fucking moron.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't value players. He doesn't value our best players. He's not calling them up. He's leaving them in Europe. They're in top 5 leagues. Make sense of it. Yes, we will be fully on board for that campaign if indeed in October that is what happens. Poch has said this is the last time to try new guys. Well, he's not lying. We got a lot of new guys coming. We got Zawadzki. We got Klinsmann, Celentano. He hasn't seen much of Zendejas. He's bringing Zendejas. This is his last look for Zendejas. Noah Kai Banks, I'm happy he's there. One of the few ones I'm happy about. Downs. Hasn't seen much of Downs except for camp and a few tiddly bit minutes because he played fucking Ajimon the whole goddamn window. And Blackman, for whatever, well, we told you the weird reason that's happening. They've been scouting the living shit out of Vancouver and Berhalter and Brian White. And then one of the scouts is like, oh, look at that guy in the back. He's pretty good too. We should call him up. These are his scouts telling him this shit, Poch. And if you talk to the people who call the games in MLS, they will tell you, and this is including Max, who provided this information, there have been shitloads of Poch's scouts at these MLS games over the last number of months, couple months. A lot. So it's happening. They're scouting MLS. It's scary. I'm scared too, just like you. But this is on Poch. On Poch. Not Garber and not MLS and not anybody else. Poch has the power to do whatever the fuck he wants. And he's doing what he wants. And if you don't like it, like we don't like it, then that's who you should be upset at, not anybody else.
It's just it's a shame that we're burning windows where we're actually playing quality opposition with it. It would be one thing if you know, when he started, maybe the first couple windows, obviously he's got to get his feet wet because he doesn't really know the player pool. And I still don't believe he understands the player pool.
No,
but I understand maybe after like the first window or two, and then at that point you start putting in like 3 or 4 guys from MLS so you really want to take a look at each window. But you keep that core group of guys.
Yes.
And you cycle out the fringe players maybe. Or maybe you're giving some players a break that they need a break or whatever. But you're bringing them in slowly. But you don't have like windows that you just burn that are saying, oh, this is my MLS window. We're bringing in 12 of the 23 players. Okay, cool.
It's not good. I don't care any way that you slice it. What's happening is not good. And don't kill the messenger. I'm just telling you, based on what I know. And listen, I thought I was the only one. And then I read some Brian Schroeder stuff today, and I'm like, oh, I'm not alone. Brian's saying the same thing I'm saying on America Soccer Now. Absolutely saying the same thing I'm saying. So I felt like, okay, I'm not alone out here. There's other people saying this. Brett thinks it too. I'm not alone out here. So we'll see what happens in October. And like I said,
guys, there's going to be a course correct. Now, don't get me wrong. There may be, like you said, ignoring the goalkeepers, there may be 3 or 4 players from the Gold Cup that might end up cracking the squad that weren't part of the A squad to begin with. I'm not even counting Adams. I'm not counting Tillman and that type of crew.
Right.
But you, like we talked about, you're likely to see a Ream because who the fuck else is stepping up at center back?
Exactly. Yep.
Our wingbacks are in depth is in question marks. I mean, does he really rate Scally as a viable option? We haven't even seen him with Dest, quite frankly. We don't even know what Poch really thinks of Dest. I imagine it's going to be good, but still. I mean, it's just there. It's going to come down to the end that we have our generally agreed upon A squad. And then you're going to have players that are off the bench. That'll be the big question mark.
And about manufacturing consent. Poch hasn't manufactured any consent. Not from us. Not from the fans. There's been no consent given from us that it's okay to have half the fucking team be MLS players who haven't earned it yet, that don't play in the 5 top leagues in the world. He has not earned that consent from us. And we will be a loud voice, as we were when Berhalter needed to be fired, that made a major difference. Don't let anybody fool you. It made a major difference. What we said at that time got Berhalter fired. Not just the fact that Weah punched some dude in the face and we lost. That's not what sent Berhalter under. They were perfectly happy holding on to him. But the pressure became too much because it wasn't just us now. Then it was the fans, the supporters groups too, who turned on the team. And right now, honestly, the fan base is so outraged. There has never been a more loathed, a more disliked, a more less followed. In my lifetime, that's amazing to say. But this is the most not cared about U.S. men's national team probably in the last 20 years of my lifetime.
Well, that makes sense, though, Derek, because at least when we were the underdogs all the time, we always had that chip on our shoulder.
Yes, we fought.
Some things have changed. I mean, we have guys who are just raised on prim and proper pitches, never really played on a shithole pitch ever. Never had to worry about using my high school career as an example. Our field was the old pottery graveyard. So like after practice, we'd always go by and start picking out pieces of pottery out of the ground, throw them off the side of the pitch.
Yeah.
I mean,
can I ask you this though, Brent?
Can, sure.
What if you're using the U.S. men's national team as in your Berhalter, and you want to go along with them marketing MLS through your team, so you end up bringing Shaq Moore and Ferreira to the World Cup. What did those two players do at the World Cup?
Get subbed off at halftime against the Netherlands.
Embarrass themselves. Absolutely embarrass themselves. It solidified more than ever for a lot of fans that these half-rated fucking players playing in MLS should not be called up on the U.S. men's national team again. So if you think this is a promoting MLS, what it's actually done over time is the opposite. A lot of fans look at Shaq Moore and how he performed. They look at Ferreira and how he performed at the World Cup. And they go, wow, those players suck. MLS must suck. Is MLS want to continue that trend? I think if you think MLS thinks the best way to promote MLS is to have players who are going to fail miserably on the U.S. men's national team, I think that's a horrible marketing strategy. Because I can tell you some of these guys that don't deserve to be there end up there. That's what's going to happen. So I don't believe it. I don't believe there is a quota. And like I said, if I knew there was one, or I heard about one, or I heard whispers, or any of the many people I know who are kind of in the inside would tell me, yeah, there's a quota, dude. No. Like, I can't tell you about the whole thing, but there's definitely... I would be telling you guys about it. Trust me. I would.
Judgmental Deity says it's 3 to 4 outfield MLSers minimum. And he specifies that because obviously goalkeepers, we could see a squad with 3 MLS goalkeepers because who's our European counterparts that are going to combat it?
Yeah, that's not at this. No, so I'm not counting. They don't count. They don't count.
Take goalkeeper out of the equation because you have Horvath and you've got Klinsmann, I guess.
Yes. That's it.
That's about it. Gaga has no chance whatsoever. There are a bunch of other youth players, youth goalkeepers that might show up in 2030, but that's not 2026.
So as far as the outfield players, should Arson make the team? My opinion, personally, no. Is there a chance he could? Yes. Is there a chance Freeman could make the team? Yes. Am I a hard no on Freeman? Yeah, kind of, because I think Scally has earned that spot.
Yeah, who are your back options on your squad? I mean, obviously take Jedi, Dest, and Scally out of the equation. Who's your third? Who's your fourth? Possibly fifth, depending on 2026 or 26. Maybe.
I mean, there's only going to be 4 taken.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, I mean, obviously I'm taking Jedi and Scally. And if I really had my druthers, I'd be taking Nathaniel Brown because I'd be out there talking to Nathaniel Brown. But so there's a chance that Arson or Freeman could make it, but not both. For God's sake, not both. Mm-hmm. And then Berhalter. How many people think out there, if they're really honest with themselves, that Poch really likes Berhalter? If you're honest with yourself, then you'll say he does like Berhalter. And Berhalter, to his credit, is really good at set pieces. But I can't be the only thing he's really, really good at. He needs to be really, really good at a lot of other things.
He's a pretty good player at changing the point of attack.
He's not bad. He's not a bad player. Listen, I'm not gonna lose any sleep if he accidentally slips onto the team somehow. I don't think he should play. I don't think he should start. But I think he's a much better player now than I ever thought he would be. And then the other one who's definitely going to make it is Luna. Those are the guys, outfield players, that have a real shot at this. And God help us if there are more. There might be after this window. I don't think so, but I think that's about it. And most of us probably think Luna's going to make this team too. Mm-hmm. Just because it seems to me Poch has fallen in love with Diego Luna. So that's the reality, people. Don't kill the messengers. We're just telling you what it's going to be like. Now, if there are more than that, there are more than 4 outfield players. And now we're slipping in Blackman or Zimmerman or I don't know who else you want to throw in there. And then McKenzie gets tossed to the side and CCV gets thrown in the trash. And yeah, it could get uglier, I suppose, people. It could. But it ain't because of quota. It's going to be because Poch decided to go that direction. Because, by the way, in the opening numerous windows that Poch had with this team, there were barely any MLS players on the squad. So why the sudden change? You think Matt Crocker called him up one night and said, hey, by the way, you've been calling up too many guys from Europe. You need to start adding some MLS guys. And by the way, since they just pissed you off by being a bunch of losers, and Landon Donovan's out there saying they don't care, now's the perfect time to start calling in MLS players. You think that's really the conversation that happened? And if you do, I don't know what you're smoking. I just want some of it. I want
sending
some
message,
of it.
Jerick. It's all about sending a message.
Yeah, that's not what happened. Anyhow, if we all continue to disagree about the quota, and if you want to believe that, that's on you. You keep doing it. There's nothing I can do to convince you. Just change your mind. And I'm not going to. So there's not even a special visit from Brett at a public bathroom that could make a difference at this point.
No chance.
It's not that important of an issue to Brett or me to have Brett go on special assignment in a public bathroom to make you change your mind.
My days are filling up, man. It's gonna be something special. Jabbers for $2 says, did Poch like Zimmerman enough to start him against the Swiss? Nah.
And he only came in off the bench.
Hey, you know what? It probably benefited him not to play against the Swiss, or at least start against the Swiss. I don't know if he.
You didn't want to play that game.
He became the guy off the bench during the Gold Cup because McKenzie kind of worked his way off of Poch's radar. Miles worked his way off his radar. And so Zimmerman's then like, oh, this worked out in my benefit. I wasn't part of that 5-0 loss or 4-0 loss or whatever it was.
But suddenly, Miles and Zimmerman don't even get called up. Death knell for them because you're calling up No Kai Banks, who doesn't really play much for Augsburg.
Maybe Miles and maybe Zimmerman just fall into that category of like, hey, we know what they bring. We don't need to call them back up right now.
You know, and I know in the state of what U.S. soccer now is that we all tend to be extremely cynical and we're really frustrated and we're really pissed off. And some people are like beyond pissed off. They're like super angry about it. And I get it. This is not where we should be right now. But I also understand how that can fuel some thinking that maybe doesn't make much sense in the end. I guess we'll all find out. I guess you guys could be.
and
Maybe there is a quota. Maybe we find out in a book 10 years from now that Don Garber called up Poch and said, "Hey, you little fucking Argentinian bastard, you better start playing some MLS, motherfuckers, or you're a dead motherfucker. You got that?" Yeah, maybe.
It's a nice team you got there. It'd be horrible if something happened to them.
You better start playing some MLS bitches soon, you little whore. Yeah, maybe that.
Works it for $2 says you play Scally when you expect to get outmatched. There's truth. I guess there's truth there because I mean, if you're playing to outmatch your opposition, then you want to play a guy who's going to be getting up in the attack more with your team.
Well, there's that big rumor that Scally did the golf cart donut. Yeah. I don't know how we found out about it because Poch wasn't out golfing with those guys, but somebody must have filmed it, with their phone, and then he saw it. So Fumar says, "I'm gaslighting us." What? That's the kind of comment I can't abide by. I do not gaslight ever. You should know that about me. All right, Jeff Carey for $4.99. Tack filed a lawsuit against me for forcing me to remove his naked portrait off the side of my van.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
Sorry about that.
Man. It's rough. Tack just has to understand that was art, and you shouldn't be taking it down.
I mean, you were trying to do the right thing, but also using AI to depict, to come up with a design and put a picture up of. Tacked on the side of your fan.
Tack should have been happy. It was at least 2 inches bigger, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Jeff did accentuate his member. So
exactly. Tack should have been flattered.
Should have said thank you. Should have said thank you.
Surprised it took you this long, Jeff. Why don't get a whole army of vans out there with my portrait on there?
Hell, I'll send you my junk for free. All right, you can just put it up there.
Jeff said that he posed for it. Well, then why is he suing you, man? Did he think that it was just going to be over on the mantle on top of your fireplace? And then,
I believe he did that. That was private, though, Brett.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
behind closed doors, guys.
He didn't know.
Behind
right?
closed doors.
All right, the next coach for the U.S. men's national team should be BJ. Sorry. Matarazzo or the coach of the Sounders. Do you, Paxton, regrets coming back to MLS? He's not going to say that ever. Poch didn't call him. Yeah, I don't know why you thought that was a great
too early
move,
for that. Too early for that to play a factor.
Yeah,
right. You think so? I mean, he just literally made the move.
He just got there.
There is absolutely a talking point going around Twitter saying, "Hey, the next, hot take, the next American coach should probably be American."
BJ,
bring BJ back.
I'm a huge BJ fan in all respects.
Just not a big 69 fan, right?
No, but I do like
Matarazzo be interesting. We always talk about Hugo Perez, but we know that U.S. Soccer is not a big Hugo Perez fan.
Nope.
Ramos always gets his name thrown into the equation there.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, here's the thing to consider though. If Poch had the full cycle to throw out some of these windows with MLS heavy camps, I don't know if we necessarily be in the same situation we'd be at now. I think the problem is that he's trying to do this. He's trying to squeeze an entire cycle of call-ups into a very short amount of time.
Brett, he's an idiot. There was no reason to be doing this. We know who the best. He's talking about 65 players he's tracking. What a fucking moron.
Yeah.
You haven't been able to whittle this down to like 40 by now? Seriously? And you're still introducing absolutely brand new guys?
40 is still fucking excessive.
Oh, it's still excessive. The guy is, somebody pointed out, including Colin Reese, who was absolutely right when he was hired. This guy does not know our player pool.
Yeah.
Doesn't know it. He's going to be fiddle fucking around forever with this. And he is. He is. And it's going to
Shut up,
hurt.
Turtle.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt.
Turtle says, I sound like the Dems after Kamala lost. If she had the whole election cycle. No, my point being is if you had,
I don't think that would have changed shit.
If he had the whole cycle, he could have been, fidgeting these players in throughout the cycle and giving them a chance periodically instead of burning the windows. But I said it earlier. Just rewind the tapes, guys. This is about sending a message. He's pissed off because the A squad that he probably thinks is in fact the A squad.
I think the message was sent though, Brett.
I agree. I think this is an extension.
I don't think so. I think this is really him just still this is jerking around. Is what this is.
I think this is still sending a message. I think maybe he has his balls tingle about a handful of these players, but the other ones, no.
I think he's still fucking around. I think the message was already sent. That was pretty loud and clear. Again, he said players like McKinney and Testament, etc., Cardoso don't have to worry. They just need to perform at their clubs, and they'll be fine. October will be a totally different window.
I got a great quote for that in the upcoming video, so I won't talk about that.
Well, we better move on because it's like 150.
Yeah, we're good. We'll get there. No worries.
All right.
I've cut back on a couple of the tabs. Don't worry.
All right. Jabbers for $2. U.S. Men's National Team takes posted a pick of Cruyff book over. We've read that.
I can pull it up right now. I've got it bookmarked. I know exactly what we're referencing there.
We have read that quote so many times on the show, at least 3 times. It proves nothing about anything. And Klinsmann's never talked about it except to say that he wanted 3 players from this MLS club. And the MLS club would tell him, you can only take 2. And he's like, why? And because we can't let you have all 3. Oh, okay. Right. So anyhow,
let's speed round through the rest of the transfer news because we're still kind of on transfer news here.
Poch to Tondela in Liga Portugal. Gotta say, I hope it's a lot better than he's been doing in the 2nd division with Reims because that's been atrocious.
They're in the 2nd division?
Reims is in the 2nd division, and he has played every single game for them this season, and he has been bad. Yes.
I didn't know they got really good. Oh.
Yep.
All right, well, whatevs.
Musa to Atalanta is a done deal. Total package worth $25 million. Between loan fee and potential future buy, Musa will sign a new deal at Milan before going out on loan. Yeah, loan. I thought this deal might be dead, but here it is. Good luck.
Well, we thought it was going to be dead because Santi broke what's-his-face's leg.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, Musa played over the weekend.
Yep.
So it's kind of crazy that it jumped like, hey, it's going to be done. Nope, we're pulling him back. Okay, we'll loan him out with potential to buy at $25 million.
Yeah, we'll see. This might be fine, but I don't think he's playing midfield. Unfortunately. Probably not. Going to play wing back.
Yeah.
Wing back, yep.
Tack mentions that it's Musa failing upwards.
Not really.
Atalanta finished higher than AC Milan.
In that sense, yes, but not club-wise. It's not failing upwards.
I feel like you're more likely to end up cracking the squad more consistently at Atalanta, despite the fact that they've been more consistent than AC Milan recently. But AC Milan's got that, the history and the willingness to buy new players to swap you out.
We'll see how Atalanta does this season, but he could be failing backwards, depending. So we'll just see. But as far as like the history of the clubs and how big the clubs are, he's not failing upwards. He's just failing sideways, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Chambers says Atalanta's rebuilding. They just lost their coach.
Correct. Yep. This could be not a good season for Atalanta. Let's be really frank. It could be. So.
Edgar says, hey, this kid needs to get a better league. Yeah, we've been saying it for 2 years now.
Yep.
But then it strikes me as odd that finally he's getting consistent playing time again. Man of the match performances, scoring goals.
Yep.
And just last year, Gattuso was like not playing him at all.
Yep. So,
Poch is phenomenal,
and we
dude.
do know that Putzis does want to move to other teams, but hasn't been able to work out a deal that because the club was willing to ship him to MLS and
wanted
for a
MLS.
deal. And he said, no, hell no, I'm not going to MLS. There are other teams that want me in Europe. How about you look at them?
I know that
And,
there are some Serie A teams that are interested.
But
Just
the
to cut
MLS
things out.
teams were willing to overpay quite a bit to bring him here. So that's why they wanted to do a deal, and they were not happy when he rejected the deal. So,
Yeah, they thought there was going to be some kind of a payday there.
yep.
Okay. Apparently, AC Milan are interested in Nokai Banks.
Yeah, they're interested in him in the same way. There was the third chick at the school that you thought, well, if the other two don't work out, I'll go out with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what to really think about this. I mean, quite frankly, I would tell him to stay at Augsburg. They seem relatively high. Hopefully, he gets a little more playing time this season. But going to AC Milan would just be like a warranted bench setting.
Hello, bench.
Yep.
Hello,
Finally,
hemorrhoids. Yeah.
The benches are much nicer, and they're made out of Ferrari leather in Italy than they are in Germany.
Doesn't stop the hemorrhoids, though. Just stay where you are, man.
Yeah.
No U.S. men's national team call-up, so sadly. Again, this one I did talk about while you were gone and said, this one I'm not so sure about. Is Poch keeping tabs on Aiden Morris? And I wonder, since all his scouts spend so much time with MLS teams, if they're missing out on the fact that he has 3 man of the matches in a row or something like that. I think it's
two
three or three, something like that. And I've watched those games, and he has been
top of the championship right now.
Absolutely spectacular. He's been great. He is like the guy that makes that team run.
Dude.
He's the distributor. He is the main dude.
Somebody bookmarked a post I made or a response I made to him. I forget who it was now, where we were talking about Aiden Morris, and I was like, this is about like a year and some change ago. And I'm like, I haven't really been overly impressed with Aiden Morris's performances with the national team. I've only really seen him at Columbus. This is before he even made the move to Middlesbrough, or maybe just as he made the move to Middlesbrough. And I was talking about how Maloney should get a call up and fill that role. And at the time, Maloney was a key starter for Heidenheim.
Yeah.
And so somebody brought this back up and said, like, see, you should have listened to me. And I'm like, dude, I was right. I mean, I was right to say it. I mean, he hadn't really been impressive with the national team. Maloney's been killing it with Heidenheim, who, were like 7th or 8th in the Bundesliga that season. I mean, you can't look at it a year and a half later and see, well, here's Maloney floundering to find playing time anywhere, and Aiden Morris is killing it in the championship, and say, look, I told you so. No, I was right back then. And things didn't turn out well for Maloney.
Yep.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I've been pretty pro Morris since he's been at Borough. He's performed well there.
Yep. Maloney didn't play this weekend. He sat for 90 minutes. So this kid is going out there, and not only is he playing well, he's the best player on his team. So hopefully Poch is paying attention. All right. For the 400 of you that have been here today, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. We do appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah. A lot of, back and forth. That's fine. All right. What do we got here?
Okay. Let me get to the first one here. Yeah. There we go. That works. This is basically her talking about how Poch doesn't know who his starting 11 is at this point.
Yeah. It's sad.
Because he knows that this 11 hasn't done the job. I don't think he really knows the 11. I don't think he sat there and watched tape of the Halter era, of the cycle, of the previous finals. If we sat Mauricio Pochettino down and, hey, that final versus Canada, what did you like? When it was BJ Callahan, Hey, that first final in Denver, what did you think? How has their progression been since? I don't think he would have an idea, and that worries me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, worries me too.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Like, I would never expect Poch to be sitting down watching previous footage. I don't see him being that guy, quite frankly, with the national team. I see him maybe watching the footage of him counting the $6 million.
I don't know. I don't want to be that cynical.
I'm cracking a joke there, but about that. But I don't see Poch necessarily going back and watching old footage of the U.S. playing under Berhalter, under BJ. I see him maybe watching current footage of, say, Pulisic at Milan, or going to catch a Cardoso game here. But I don't see him necessarily going back and watching it, because the big fucking question marks as far as why you're playing people the way you are and how you're playing it and why you aren't calling certain people back up.
I mean, I would go back and watch the Callahan games, the best ones, because that's the best we ever played as a group.
Yeah. Go back and read the quotes. How did you get the best out of Pepe? Oh, he just told us to go up there and play our game.
Yeah. He let us play our game. He let us be creative. Yeah. I mean, I think it would help him to watch those videos. But again, no requirement, I suppose, to do that. So he's just doing Poch things. And somebody else put up a good post. Like, maybe Poch just thinks he's so great of a manager and a guy that he can just do it his way, regardless of what anybody else has done, or regardless of what's already been proven. And he's just so arrogant, he doesn't care to do that kind of work. He's just going to go with what he thinks. That's absolutely possible, people. Absolutely possible. Hubris, as Fumar puts it.
Hubris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's Herc talking about untested players over tested players.
We're seeing a collection of, and I don't want to put them all in a boat of Major League Soccer players, but untested, unproven players come into camp over some players who are testing themselves at a higher level and have already had equity within this program. That's what we're seeing.
No, he's absolutely right. And there are players that have equity that, I mean, they're just, I mean, we talked about earlier, Scally.
Yeah.
And he's gotten no call and no notice, so Scally doesn't even know why he's not been in the last two camps.
And yeah, we definitely have the Gio and Skelly interview pulled up here as well, part of this this video. But yeah, I mean, he basically he's like, hey, I got called in for like every single window until just recently, and I'm performing week in, week out for Gladbach. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but
yeah. No, I mean, he's right. It's seriously concerning. I don't know what else to add to that. He's right.
So we talked about earlier about how Weston's one of those guys that Poch is like, I already know what I'm going to get from Weston. I don't need to call him up. And we're talking about that. I'm like, hey, there's going to be a quote coming up, a perfect quote to describe this. So I'm not going to talk about it right now. We moved on.
Yeah.
But here's Sept talking about this. And I thought this was a brilliant point by Sept, quite frankly. The inconsistencies of Poch.
And so you just got to wonder with a Weston McKennie, where is it? Do we take the manager at his word, knowing a lot of times that what the manager tells us through the press is not exactly the whole truth? And if I were Weston McKennie, I would raise my hand and say, well, wait a sec, there's a bit of an inconsistency. You're saying you don't need to call me in because you know what you have. But in the very same answer, you're saying everybody has to fight. Nothing's guaranteed. Well, if I'm Weston McKennie and everybody has to fight and nothing's guaranteed, I want to be there for that opportunity.
No, he's right. I would want to too.
Fucking point. Because I heard this when I heard Poch talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, Weston, we already know what we get from Weston." I'm like, that's a good point. We already know he's maybe not necessarily. I think he's a guarantee, but maybe Poch doesn't necessarily think he's a guarantee. But maybe he's on the cusp of being a guarantee. So we're going to take a look at somebody else just to gauge. We have other windows, but then, as Seb mentions here, well, if ever nothing's guaranteed and we all have to fight, then I want to be given an opportunity to fucking fight.
I want to be there.
Yeah,
but what Poch said was, no, you fight at your club. fight at your club, you do well at your club, you got nothing to worry about. And I quote, you got nothing to worry about. But if I'm McKinney, I'm still saying, well, yeah, okay, fine. But I still want to be at the camp to fight right in front of you. I want to show you what I got. I get that. And I think Seb's got a good point there. I think if I were a player, I'd still be a little bit nervous, even as confident as McKinney must be that he's certainly got to be going to this 2026 World Cup. I mean, there's got to be a little bit of doubt in the back of your head, like, okay, wait a minute now.
But I mean, to the point you were making that Poch said, it's like, hey, you got to fight it out at your club. Well, I mean, he's been doing that for like the last 4 years at Juve, and he's been a consistent contributor. But he's always been the man on the outside.
And now
we're at it again. He's at 3 minutes in 3 games. He's been getting a minute per game.
Absolutely. So now you're McKenny, and you're thinking, I'm getting fucked here because I'm not even getting to play for my club. And he's telling me I don't need to worry, just do good at my club. Not getting to play for my club. So I'd rather be in camp and show what I got, right? But he's not getting that opportunity. So yeah, if I were McKinney, I think I'm getting a bit minorly screwed there. Absolutely.
Here's the group talking about the vague description of MLS being as competitive as European leagues.
Vague statement to make, and I'm gonna give them a get lost just on the statement alone, just because it's so vague. What do you mean better than teams in Europe or leagues in Europe? Like, do you mean it's can compete with the top 5? It's competitive in terms of what? Parity? It's competitive in terms of what? Player selection? You get to play against some of the best players in the world. Are you saying it's better than Scotland? Sure. Okay. Because you exclude Celtic and Rangers, and that's pretty easy to say. Okay, I believe that because those 2 teams had the opportunity to play in Champions League. One got thrashed by a Belgian team. The other one by team from Kazakhstan. Mm-hmm. So, okay, maybe I'll bite there. Are you saying it's better than a league like Belgium, the Eredivisie, that export players to bigger and better leagues that play in Champions League, Europa League, Conference League? I don't know if I'm biting there. Are you saying it's better than Turkish league?
I'll bite on Belgium, but I'm not going to bite on Holland. But go ahead.
Now, and it has some very good footballers. I don't know. Are we talking Russia? Are we talking the Championship? That's a top 10 league in their 2nd division.
Luxembourg.
What are you talking about?
Latvia.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Yeah, I hate these general answers that Poch gives. It's just oatmeal. It's a big bowl of oatmeal. It's just a mush of nothing.
Yeah.
And so you end up having to go like, okay, what leagues is he talking about? I don't know. Does he know? Is he really saying MLS is better than Liga? Well, I mean, it might be better generally than the bottom half of Liga, but not the top half.
Well, and it's like I could see some teams competing, and then I also see some teams being the bottom half of league and getting relegated. So I mean, to what point is the league more competitive in that sense?
Yeah,
is it more competitive in the sense that you aren't guaranteed that there's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 teams that are competing for the championship? It could be anybody who gets the championship at that point. You go back to the history of MLS, like, well, geez, it's like 8 teams in the last 10 years have won the MLS Cup.
Yeah, and this is where the translation and him not speaking English very well screws everything up, because you can ask him a complex question or a very direct question, and he's just going to generalize it. Like, I wish somebody would have followed that up with, well, hold on now. Which leagues are you talking about? Because are you talking about Spain, England, Italy, Germany? What league you talking about, brother?
Well, I mean, anybody who can break that down with enough common sense would probably sit there and think, well, he's talking, like we said, we're talking about the Belgians, we're talking about the Denmarks, we're talking about the Dutch.
Yeah.
You can make the argument the championship if you want to. Second Bundesliga, all these leagues that we have players in. But you're not going to sit there and say, well, they're as competitive as Bundesliga or La Liga. But then again, he's calling players in from MLS over players from Bundesliga who are consistent players, or calling players in who are, starting out and starting for La Liga teams. So I mean, it's like, okay, Where are we at? This is inconsistency once again.
Well, then you have the contradiction. Jonathan Klinsmann's playing for Cesena in Italy, and he's a Serie B player. But then again, that's a whole different thing because that's goalkeeper, and
that's its own beast, right?
We're seriously just desperate at this point, so we'll just try anybody.
Try anyone, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
so doesn't count, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate these general. I agree with the fact that if Poch wanted us to exclude the top 5 leagues, he should have said, excluding the top 5 leagues, these other leagues in Europe aren't necessarily as any more competitive than MLS, and then it would have all been clear. Meanwhile, what happens because you're not clear is that people go fucking nutballs on this. They're like, look at this. Look at this guy. This clown thinks that MLS is just as good as La Liga. Or this clown thinks that MLS is just as good as Bundesliga. And that's what we're seeing on Twitter, unfortunately. So I don't think that's what he wanted, but that's what he's getting because that's what happens when you are vague and you put out oatmeal as your statement.
Yep. We talk about Herc talks about how we've gone from a manager who actively is trying to push his players to go to Europe and challenge themselves to a coach that's kind of saying, hey, doesn't really matter where you play as long as you're showing that you're good enough to play for us. So
worried with things that are coming out of his mouth. I'm a big believer in Major League Soccer. But you go from the likes of Jurgen Klinsmann wanting his players to test themselves at the highest levels and trying to get his players actively to explore Europe. And that was one of them. Jurgen Klinsmann picked up the phone and was connecting me to teams in the Bundesliga, in the championship, trying to get me to go when I was at Santos, trying to get his players there. You go from Greg Berhalter to some of his last call-ups, fielding only European players. I believe Miles Robinson and the backup goalkeeper were the only players of Major League Soccer in the lineups. To now,
people forget that, don't they? If there was any MLS suck up, it would have been Greg Berhalter, and he was only calling 2 MLS players up per window in some of the windows, maybe 3. So no quota for Greg Berhalter, and now there's a quota for Poch. I'm not buying that.
In Europe, coming back to Major League Soccer.
Yep.
Why? Because maybe in their minds they think it gives them a better opportunity to play for the national team. So when you make statements like this, you can't just make the statement. You have to explain yourself because we're getting caught in these crosshairs of MLS versus Europe.
So he was basically, I don't think he was necessarily using this as an example, but Paxton Aronson, quite frankly, where Paxton left Bundesliga to go to MLS, mind you, probably making 3-4 times as much with Colorado that he was with Frankfurt. But the sporting director came out and said, hey, Paxton wanted to leave. He thought that it'd be a better opportunity for him to make the national team. So
that's scary.
The Herc's point right there. That's the scary. That's the slippery slope. And instead of testing yourself at a higher level, you opt to come back. You opt to go to MLS, come back to MLS, where it's a little cushier, quite frankly, and in hopes that the manager is going to pick you.
So Colin said that Klinsmann used the most MLS players. Not totally fair. True, but not fair in the sense that he was out there, Jurgen, trying to get the Breck Shays and the other guys of that generation to Europe. He did get Breck Shea to Europe, actually. But that was our vanquished generation. The Breck Shea generation. If you all remember, for that 2018 World Cup window, we were using a bunch of 29, 30-year-olds and an 18-year-old named Christian Pulisic, or a 16-year-old, 17-year-old. Like it was young boys and old men. Why? Because the Breck Shea generation failed. They were an abomination. from the ages in that particular qualifying window, we should have had plenty of players between the ages of 27 and 24, 23. At their peak, we had none. We had nobody, basically. We had a few, but it wasn't what we needed. So we're playing with old men like Dempsey, who came back to MLS, and Bradley and Altidore. Old men, either nearing their 30s or in their 30s. And Pulisic, a young, just basically started playing with Dortmund, and we were calling him up. But as far as the maximum years there, we didn't have that. That was the Breck-Shea generation, the failed generation of players. So that's not fair to Jurgen, because there was a whole bunch of players that came back from Europe to MLS at the time, had already played years in Europe and came back. And then we had what we call the missing generation, the Breck-Shea generation, that should have been in Europe but wasn't. So to be fair to Jurgen, he was pushing the players to go to Europe, pushing and pushing, saying it in public, saying it in interviews. If you really want to challenge yourself, you need to go to Europe. And he actually got Shea to Europe. All right, we got one more spot here.
One more spot here?
This.
Yeah. King Kello says, if there's no MLS quota, why is Adjiman got the starting spot every game dropping stinkers? And why all of a sudden he was getting hyped by U.S. soccer and our legends?
Okay, number one, he got a starting spot because Poch picked him. Number two, he wasn't getting hyped by all of the legends, but he certainly was getting a reach around from Landon Donovan and Tim Howard. But that's not everybody. Certainly Davies, and there are other guys that weren't that thrilled with Adjiman. And a lot of them by the end who were definitely not thrilled with Adjiman and said, nah, he doesn't have it. Most of them will admit that now, including Alexi and high voice dude
Bolton?
From Bolton. Yeah.
Holden, yeah.
Holden. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't want to assume that he was high voice, but
yes, he is high voice. He calls us games about right here. So yeah, I don't think that proves anything, though, King Kalo. I don't think that proves a quota. I think it proves that Poch can be a mindless, stubborn, arrogant fuck who thinks he knows better. So I don't think it proves a quota. I think it was horrendous, and we were the first amongst the many firsts that called out Bambi. In fact, we got berated for calling out Bambi on this show. We were told we were being cruel and mean.
They purposely left off funny too.
And funny. Yeah, no, they didn't. They didn't think it was funny either. So I just think
chuckled a little.
Even though we thought that Adjiman was not good enough for this level, Poch did. And he played him a whole fucking window over Haji Wright, who was not happy about it. So, and that probably will get Haji Wright in trouble going forward. If what the rumors that are being tossed around behind the scenes are true. That he was unhappy and voiced his displeasure with not starting during that window and having Adjiman start over him. So, but I don't think that proves anything. Bad decision making doesn't prove dick. It just means, and that we've been saying this the whole time. You want to blame somebody? Blame Poch. In the end, this is his responsibility. He's being paid $6 million. And he's being an arrogant fuck who doesn't know our player pool, is willing to put a giant fucking giraffe out at center forward for a whole window and not try anybody else until with minutes left in the game, he threw on downs with minutes left. So it's on Poch.
Yeah.
You can't blame anybody else. Poch. Nobody forced Berhalter to pick an Agumon. Nobody forced even BJ, who was a backup coach. Nobody forced him to pick any MLS players. Nobody forced who's the other guy before BJ? Nobody forced him to do
Hudson.
Nobody forced Hudson to pick MLS players. Nobody forced Berhalter to pick MLS players. In fact, he barely had any on his team in his later windows. Barely any. So you're now telling me all those guys were exempt from the quota, but now Poch is definitely, he's got, and Poch is the most powerful, most big coach we've ever hired. He's the biggest thing, and he's going to subject himself to being told what to do with the player pool? Come on.
What do you think if
Come on.
the investor was the Arthur Blank, and he's like, hey, we'll give you $6 million a year for 2 years, but it doesn't have to be the first couple windows, but at some point you got to call in 12 MLS players.
Did that include a blowjob too, Brett?
Could have, who knows?
Really?
I'm not going to judge.
I'm going to tell you that didn't happen.
I'm going to have you handle this one because I'm not sure if F91 means F1 and this is a racing question thing or what.
Don't sleep on the GOAT. Team F91 diddling right midfield. I don't know what RM means. Don't sleep on the GOAT. Team. Oh, yeah, there is a team named that, I believe. F91 diddling. There is a team. Like Middle Fart. The team Middle Fart. Yeah.
So this is an actual team. Okay.
Yes, it is. I think it's in Finland. I could be wrong about that. I think F91 diddling could be. Is that
I just assumed it was a F1 racing team and he accidentally put 9 there for whatever reason.
I think that's a Luxembourg team. Pretty sure that's a Luxembourg team.
Luxembourg Wooks, it says.
Oh, I got it right. It is a Luxembourg team. Hell yeah, brother. I love it when I get one right. Yes.
Grim Porpoise, This is the first time I've seen you comment that didn't say I'm fat.
Yes, it is.
It'll come up here in a second, I'm sure.
You're more than your weight, Grim Porpoise. More than your weight.
Here's a question to Gio, apparently, is whether or not he's basically eager to start his new life in Germany.
That really was the right place for me. I was open to other countries, other cultures, other leagues, obviously. But yeah, when Gladbach came with the interest, it was super interesting, and I wanted to come right away.
Your agent said he didn't want to play in Germany anymore.
Right? That's the reason. The only reason why I kept this is because for weeks and months we're sitting there going like, well, the agent's been saying he doesn't want to play in Germany anymore. So
and we kept saying
we're not going to field him. All of a sudden, hey, we're signing with Gladbach.
We kept saying how stupid it was that his agent said that out loud to the media.
But so Herc asked him about it. He's like, I'm fine with playing in Germany. I was open to playing in other countries and other cultures and all that stuff. But hey, when Gladbach came a knocking.
Yep.
All right, let's see here. 32-41.
By the way, Sabas T. What Derek's been smoking this evening? Of course, there is now an MLS quota. No, there isn't. You want a scapegoat, and your scapegoat is one person, Pochettino. He's your scapegoat. He's the guy fucking up, and it's time to look him in the eyeballs and point him in his forehead and tell him he's fucking up. Nobody's telling him he has to pick all these MLS players. Nobody. Nobody told Greg. Nobody told Hudson. Nobody told BJ. Nobody told fucking Greg. Nobody's telling Poch what he can and cannot do with this team. He's fucking up on his own. If you want to grasp that or believe that, that's on you. That's on you. You live with that. You can live with that. You want to blame it on somebody else, then Poch, you can go do that if you want to. But I think you're wasting your time. All right.
So this is where Gio pinpoints the instance where he had a Dortmund fall from grace. So what do you think if you could pinpoint one? He started off his career at Dortmund pretty high. If you can pinpoint one instance, where do you think his fall from grace was? Or what do you think caused him to not necessarily be a consistent starter anymore?
Who?
Gio.
Oh, for Dortmund?
Yeah.
Bunch of injuries, bunch of other players showing up,
So
doing better.
The first window of the qualifiers where he got injured. I think that would be my pinpoint spot because he was out for like 9 months. I think he got injured again. 3 months injured, 7 months injured. It was constant.
Yep.
Let's see where he thinks so.
What do you think it was?
Yeah, I think it was just the lack of consistent playing time, to be honest. I think it's
lack of consistent playing time.
Yeah.
That's definitely a cause, and he can actually get more injuries from his lack of consistent playing time.
Mm-hmm.
Not like he just went from playing to not playing consistently. He had a series of injuries that took him out for almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, that's where it is. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny that he didn't pinpoint the injury being the issue. Maybe he's trying to stay away from saying, yeah, dude, that injury was rough, because he doesn't want people thinking about the injury, especially as he's starting his new career at Gladbach.
Suppose he doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Here's where Gio talks about not being on the U.S. World Cup, U.S. camp this window.
What was it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really be. I guess I'm just speaking for myself. I can't be too surprised if I obviously I haven't played any games with club yet this season, and I haven't played any even preseason games. So,
or any games for Dortmund prior to that.
Right? Yeah, it's fair.
I don't want to speak for Joe. That's obviously he can speak for himself on that. But for me, it's I can't obviously be mad about it. Of course, I want to be back in, but I only know that's only possible with playing time and performing well. So that's how it is. That's how it should.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep. He's got it.
But now Joe talks about it.
Well, that's a whole different story.
Let's see what Joe has to say.
Be also.
Joe?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I played the last, I think, 2 years, almost every game for the national team. And then to miss out on the Gold Cup in this camp, of course, it's upsetting. You feel like you put yourself in a position when you play all the games to be there. But in the end, it's the coach's decision. I respect that. And, of course, I'll do everything to hopefully be back in the next camps.
Well, you won't be.
Joe does not sound too happy there.
Joe's one of the guys that may not make it in October. I'm just putting that out there.
Possible.
It's very possible he won't, along with Haji Wright, may not make it. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But based on...
There's two guys, Berhalter didn't really rank up there too highly.
Well, I just think something's happened behind the scenes that we can't completely confirm. We can't confirm it because I can't ask Pochettino. I don't know him personally. I'm just hearing stuff and rumors, so I can only say that he and Wright are like in the shit house or something like that.
In the interview, they talked about this. I didn't timestamp this by any means, but both him and Gio both mentioned how hey, Poch has come out and said, hey, you guys just need to be playing for your team and you'll get opportunities. We need to play for your team and you'll get your opportunity. And Joe's sitting here going I've played every year for the last 4 years, consistently.
Some people were saying, well, Poch is taking old school approach to this. He's not calling all the players and, rubbing their testicles and telling them what they need to do better or to get on the team or anything like Berhalter did, like Callahan did, like Hudson did, like Bradley did, like Klinsmann even did. And he's German. And to think that he made a lot of phone calls is crazy, but he did. He was on the phone constantly, not only talking to the players, but trying to get them to go to Europe. As Herc talked about, he got a phone call in the middle of the night, yeah, Herc, I've been talking to this team in the Bundesliga. They might be interested. Would you be interested? I mean, that's doing kind of like the grind work to prepare for the fact, and this is the difference. Klinsmann thought he'd be there for 8 years. So he's thinking, I'm not only preparing for this World Cup, I'm preparing for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Bob Bradley, I'm not just preparing for this World Cup, I'm preparing for the next one. So yes, I am calling the players. And yes, I am tickling their testicles. And yes, I am telling them what they need to do to get better, to get on the team. Poch, obviously gone after this World Cup.
Yeah.
This is a one stint thing for him. He does not give two fucking rat asses. This is a one-time thing for him. He's in and he's out. So no, he's not tickling any testicles and he's not making any extra phone calls. So
well, and that's a big soundbite that was going through the Twitter sphere for a while. Was where Herc asked Gio and Joe is like, hey, did you hear from Coach Swindle about you not making the camp? And they both just said no.
Herc already knew the answer to that question.
But I mean, everybody's like, oh, there's something wrong with U.S. soccer, and there's something wrong with Poch, there's something wrong with this. I was like, guys, I mean, we had months of Pulisic interviews where he talks about how he doesn't talk to Poch all that often. Des didn't talk to Poch until he was healthy at the end of last season or whatever it was.
Herc asked that question specifically to point out he knew what the answer was going to be, but he asked the question because he knew what the answer was going to be.
Oh yeah,
he just wanted to let people know that if you're a Joe Scally or you're Gio Reyna, former superstar of this team, one of the best players we had on this team for a couple years, that there are no favorites and you don't get phone calls and you don't get, hey, Gio, sorry about that injury. I know you're coming back and you're moving to a new team. All the best. We're waiting for you. We're hoping you do well because if you do, you'll be back on the team. No, not going to get that from Poch. This is old school. It's hardcore, and you do it on your own, bro. And if you don't, you're not going to be called up. Simple as that.
I may be wrong, Phantom, but I thought he talked to Poch about the move to Gladbach and his transfer. I don't think he said that he got a call about this camp, which is what that soundbite was for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I may have misheard or missed it completely, but that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I've not really heard about any long phone calls from Poch to just about anybody. So, and Scally certainly is not getting one. Not after the supposed golf cart incident. So,
it's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
All right. Last soundbite here. This is talking about the different, I guess, personality of Gio that Herc was kind of surprised by and how he's approaching things. So let's just hear what Herc has to say here.
Yep. There seems to be humility that has come with all that, and a recognition in himself, I would say, where he's like, I've got
BT. I mean, the all that is GeoGate, followed by several years of not being played by multiple coaches to this transfer window. You know, so that's all of that.
Yep.
Gotta do me and play. Like, I can't be mad at this coach for not calling me because I've not played in the last 3 years. He's not seen who I am, so I can't blame him. That accountability to me, that humility is not something I've seen in Gio Reyna in the past. Everybody knows Gio Reyna's ceiling. Everybody but Mauricio Pochettino. And I think Gio Reyna realizes that. He's not shown Mauricio Pochettino anything, so he can't expect anything. And I thought that humility was refreshing.
Sebby, what about you? What stood out to you?
Well, I mean, he's right about that. Like, Poch, if he's not watched past vids or past games against Mexico and finals, and he's just not going to know. So I would suspect he knows. I don't know if he really knows. But then again, in the end, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. You know, Reyna's got to do something now for the future. So, Yeah, it is.
At this point, it's all on Gio.
Yep. All right. That's going to be it for tonight, folks. We will
Did you want to talk about any highlights of the Yanks abroad real quick? Not have to go through them all, but big ones.
I will just say this much. Sargent, I'll just talk about the hottest players. Sargent, Haji Wright, hot. James Sands, amazing game. Tillman, not the greatest game, but when scoring, good. We'll see how that works out. Richards, fabulous. Balogun, best game he's played in a long time. Tessman, several games in a row now where I'm thinking, I don't know if this is the Tessman I've ever seen before. Like, this is a really good player. And Aiden Morris stood out to me this weekend for sure. Do want to point out that our friend Matthew Hoppe sat for 90 minutes for Sanderjiski this weekend. I only bring him up because of our friends and our connections there. And then, yeah, nothing else.
Being the Norwich game was the only game I got to watch this week because I was fucking swamped.
Any game you want to know about?
I just wanted to briefly talk about Sargent's game because obviously, if you look at the box scores, yeah, he scored a brace.
He missed some
phenomenal fucking game.
Yeah, he missed some easy ones.
He missed some opportunities, but he drew that PK, and you could sit there and argue like, oh, he milked it. He fell over once he felt the contact. Yeah, okay, so what?
Yeah,
it was still contact. The guy still pulled him.
Yeah,
he drew the foul. Now, the only argument I could say if EFL had VAR, they may have called that outside the box. But the fact that the pull occurred and then he fell into the box, they gave him PK. Regardless, he put it away cleanly. Norwich didn't see much of the ball at all in that second half, but then Sargent had an absolute banger of a goal to close it out.
Oh, that goal was great.
Yeah.
He did blow some chances early.
Oh yeah.
Also got to say Adams, really good for Bournemouth. Just trying to think here. Go down my list real quick. Pulisic's goal was great with the ankle issues. That was great. Cardoso, he was fine, but that whole team looks like they're kind of lost actually. Atletico. And then I think that's about it. Downs only got 4 minutes, by the way. That's not great. Tolkien, in a loss, I thought did pretty well. He got an assist. I watched the game. I thought he was like one of the better players on the whole field. And then, yeah, that's about it. All right. We'll be back on Thursday. And I don't know what we'll probably have like a preview probably for the Korea game.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have some pre-pressers up at least.
Yeah. All right. Thanks to all 432 of you who were here at one point tonight. There's only 424 of you left, but we do appreciate it. We'll be back on Thursday. And hey, we'll keep yelling and screaming until you. What's the famous thing? We'll keep abusing you until you agree to submit or whatever it is. Anyhow, we don't care. You disagree with us. That's fine. We can live with it, guys. We do not sleep, go to bed at night and lose sleep because you disagree with us. All right. We're going to be here regardless. Anyhow, we do appreciate you all being here and, providing your thoughts and opinions. We will be back on Thursday. Good night.
That hurt.
Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill.
Ooh, great blowjob. The secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I don't understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the tip.
I didn't understand it, but
Patrick Agyemang to Bambi